All right, welcome, ladies and gents, to, well, I'll say it again for YouTube's sake, another best of 5. This best of 5 is between Vlad, Dracula, and Alaric the Goth. It is another round of 16 matchup. Now, as far as YouTube uploads goes, we are having a YouTube upload every 6 hours on the dot with the best of 5s. So this might hit YouTube, I don't know the exact time, but YouTube, if you're listening and you have yet to stop by the live stream, the weekend's going to be even crazier because the best players move on. We have all the quarterfinals on Saturday and then the semifinals and the live grand final on Sunday. We'd love to see you here. Nilly, it's a Mayans war, which we didn't see in, I think, the previous 2 best of 5s. Players have been switching it up. Both of these 2 players thinking along the same lines with their civ picks.
Yeah, only Saladin, like, kind of screwed us over, right? We thought Mans is one of the best civilizations here.
Yeah.
And, yeah, now those 2 players agree. And, well, we will need to take a good look at how the map is looking, especially the super open center with lots of gold.
Whoa, Alaric, no! Like, I'm really proud of what the maps have come out to be in Hidden Cup 3. We did some amazing things with maps, but with random map scripts, sometimes it's just not your day. Holy gold, man. All the gold is... And you know what? You could even say the same for Vlad. It's extremely open for him. He has some back resources, but if Alaric goes aggressive, there's a lot of stones and golds that could be taken off Vlad's hands.
Yeah. Technically, both have a secondary gold in the back, but yeah, it's so open, and I think we will see a lot of aggression here.
Okay, so guys, this is how it's broken down. So you have the main gold, and then you have 2 4-tile golds. This 4-tile gold is Alaric's. This 4-tile gold is also Alaric's. And then Vlad has his main, his second, and then this one in the back. So I guess both players would have a quote-unquote safe gold, but it'd just be awkward. I don't think either player is going to safely wall their base and go for fast castle in this game. This could be a completely different Mayans war.
Yeah, that could be very aggressive. I would be surprised if we don't see like 3, maybe even 4 men-at-arms, double archery range, lots of feudal army here. It will just be so tricky. And even if you think, oh, eagle fight in the center?
Yeah, this is interesting. I think Vlad might bail on this. Oh no, it's Alaric who bailed on that. Whose sheep were those? Are those... I think those are Alaric's sheep.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks to be. So Vlad gets the sheep. And Alaric and Vlad are going to find out pretty quickly here, nearly how close they are together. I just hope that Alaric doesn't find out the hard way. Now run to the light. Oh,
do you
man.
call that the hard way?
Yeah, it's the hard way. Oh. Okay, so Alaric needs to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. You have a really bad main gold. You've now lost your eagle. You've lost sheep. What do you do, Neely?
Oh god, and it's even worse, right? He didn't see any of Vlad's golds, and he didn't scout his 3rd back gold.
Yeah,
so he thinks
know.
all the 3 he scouted are his golds.
Yeah.
He will play suicide on this game.
Yeah, he's gonna go all in. I mean, the other thing about that though, when you lose 2 sheep as Mayans and you don't have an eagle to push any deer, I don't think you can go for a fast feudal time. So I think you actually have to drush here. Do you not?
Yeah,
you need to try and wall it.
Flush, I believe. Oh, those walls!
Yeah, it depends on the player style too. Like maybe most players that choose Mayans, they plan to play very comfortable, very passive, and he's gonna try it anyways. There's the early barracks, and Vlad has yet to see that. That is one good thing.
Okay, Vlad scout now trying to get trapped here. Wait.
Ooh, okay. That was a pretty quick gate. And that was an ambitious one as well. Like, I don't think it's realistic that you would get the trap there a lot. There's a few names that come to mind when you talk about ambitious trapping.
Hera.
Yeah. Hera, Viper, ooh, maybe. I mean, chat has voted Viper consistently over the last 36 hours, but...
Yeah. I have some sad statistics for you.
Sad statistics? Okay.
Yeah. We are already over 1/3 of Hidden Cup in the books.
That's not... That is sad. Don't make me sad, man. Well, it's only gonna get better, right? I feel like the round of 16 has had some great games, but after seeing the quality of the winners, I cannot wait to see just how good Saturday is. Like, Saturday's probably going to be insane. And then Sunday, of course, the winner of an insane quarterfinal is going to move on to the semifinal. So I'm just getting more and more excited here. This is quite possibly the most awkward wall-off I have ever seen on an Arabia map. And Vlad Dracula is not going for... He seems to know more about the map, and he's not going for passive play. He's doing the right move, and he's going aggressive.
I just think about, like, maybe Yo goes for those wild ones, maybe Lan, but now the militia are arriving at the woodline.
Oh, whoa, the guy's... What is he doing? He's trying to run. I've never seen that bug before. Oh, and the lumber camp's deleted, too. And the villager dies anyway. Is he trapped as well? Did you see that? It was like Wile E. Coyote or the Roadrunner. It was just, he was running in place there. Oh. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
Day 5 of the quarantine, just doing leg work on his own.
it's a medieval treadmill. That's what that was. Nice tower from Vlad. This is actually fantastic because it's on the wood line. It also denies some of those golds, but his man-at-arms are not anywhere near. And Alaric is on the way to feudal age, so maybe Alaric, after killing a villager there, will be able to wall behind and stabilize somewhat. But no gold accessible for him. That's going to be tough.
Now goes for the stone, man-at-arm upgrade. Oh god, that's such an ugly game. And oh, we spoke about it so many times, like biggest tournament in 20 years, and it's so tough to shake this first game off. It really needs like a lot of mental strength.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You need a lot of mental strength, but he has done more with the Drush than I would have expected, and Vlad is not convincing me with some of his, or lack of, walls and protection. Can't say it's all that convincing to run your militia into the town center fire either. That Drush is pretty much neutralized, and the barracks will go down for Alaric. Imagine if he just would have scouted this back gold. If he would have scouted the back gold, he would have been fine. If he would have kept that eagle alive, he would have been fine. This is a lot of pressure to deal with.
Town watch now being squeezed in by Vlad because he was housed. Tries to find another angle. Houses at the moment. In Dark Age, only 550 HP. Tries to go for the repair. And how is the eco looking?
Well,
that you're going up with 28 villagers? Not that pretty.
Yeah, well, to be honest, the eco's looking pretty good for Vlad. He's adding a lot of farms, but because Vlad didn't go to stone, Vlad can't deny the gold. He didn't go to stone, and Alaric has stone. It's so confusing for me, because every time I want to say Alaric the Goth, I, for some reason, mentally think he's Goths or something. But with the defensive tower, Alaric will have gold, and he already has a range, so he can make archers, and if he doesn't feel as though Vlad is pressuring him, he can go for the deer in the back too if he really needs food. I actually think Alaric is... He's not in a great position, but the score is largely due to the fact that he doesn't have scouting, and he could be fine here.
Now builds the tower with 4 defensive villagers there. Still the repair on the house.
Yep.
Send some more villagers over. But that tower is a bit too far to the right-hand side. Therefore, I think Vlad just needs to run around and build the tower a bit more at the left-hand side and block the gold at that angle.
That's true, but Alaric still has stone for another one. So I think... It's...
Sneaky tower at the top, by the way.
What? At the top?
Left side,
what? And it's actually... Oh, it's even better! It's even better than Vlad's tower! And he walled it in, too! Alaric the Goth is a beast! How did he sneak out of here, nearly? This is going to change the whole game. I mean, granted, Vlad's going to build his own defensive tower, but that hurts.
Yeah, and villager at the top might even die there as well.
Yeah.
Vlad with some losses. Men-at-arms don't really know where to go. Luckily, the villagers at the bottom can get the tower up.
Yeah.
So, in the end, it will get cleared up, but lots of work for a normally safe situation.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we thought the game would turn into. I kind of like it, too. I know that there's people out there as well who... They see a Mayans war, and they're like, oh boy, full wall, gross. Oof, that hurt for Alaric to lose the build. But there were some walls, but this is going to be far from safe for either player. And you see both players repairing their towers and hopping back inside the towers. This is a skill. It's not easy to do that. Is Alaric just going to rush this down, though?
Looks like it.
Yeah, I think he's sick of it. And he knows there's some weak villagers in there. He has some archers and skirms. This is really good reaction from Alaric.
I'm impressed as well.
Yeah.
Some walls in front of that, and well, where's the army of Vlad? Not too much out there. Only skirmishes now being built. Fletching on the way, though.
Yeah, okay, fletching on the way, that's big. That the villagers will probably make it home, and with skirmishers with fletching, that means Alaric will need to run back. But Alaric, you know what hurts here? The fact he doesn't have a barracks. That really hurts, because he can't make a few eagles against the skirms. I think that Vlad should possibly try and punish that. And then maybe Alaric instead will play very defensively with towers and economy, and maybe try and get the plumed archers or something.
Oh, nice defensive towers now by Alaric, and yeah, I like his defense. Honestly, I think a lesser player simply dies at 13 minutes here.
I agree. So as the series goes on, we might be thinking back to this awful map for Alaric and how he was able to weather that storm. I think there's so many players who could have died to this. And what I expect, Neely, is probably some skirmishers, some archers, but as long as that stone's secured, maybe we do see plumes in Castle H if Alaric gets there.
Not unlikely. Honestly, the base, how it's created now, if I didn't see the early start, it looks like something that Yo feels comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wall towered up, some army, but not too much.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. What did he... He's like, I don't need that tower anymore. That's just so uncommon to see someone delete a tower. But no, we want efficiency in this town. That's hilarious. Oh, and Vlad has villagers on stone that are now exposed. And he has to run away as his army's running forward to go... Well, he doesn't know where to go. He does not know where to go with that military. This is incredible.
It's a weird move out by Vlad,
yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, he has some men-at-arms that he wants to use. Skirms were around, but his gold wasn't safe, his stone wasn't safe, and now he has to pay the price.
Oh my goodness, maybe a bit of overconfidence here after seeing the maps and seeing the start. I think the score as well. Remember, look at the scouting for Blue. He doesn't have much. I think a lot of the score was due to the scouting, though I'm trying to switch. DE. Hold on.
It's tech 140 more and military 70 more. Economy is the same.
Yeah, that scouting's about 200 points from what I can see. Because you get 100 points for 10% of the map scout. Oh, there's weak villagers on the deer! Oh, there's weak villagers on the deer. This could be all 4 vills down. But I think for sure 3 villagers die to this. Let's see. Doink. Oh, never mind. 2. I'm a noob caster.
That's a bit of a miss micro, though. Should have been 3 villagers. Not even really trying to out micro there. That was weird. Normally you try to dodge those fights. And now Eagle's coming in, but they are evaporating.
Yeah, they don't have upgrades. And all that Alaric wants to do, it's like he actually is Goth. He just wants to survive and buy time. At home, he's playing very defensive. He's building towers, which does hurt his opportunity to go for plumes. So maybe he'll stick with archers as he has 2 ranges. And he's doing a lot of damage to Vlad. Alaric has taken the score lead nearly. He has the economy lead with 3 extra villagers. Who would have saw this coming after the start?
I absolutely would have bet against it. Like, this is such a solid play by Alaric here. What he's doing with the counterattacks. He plays it so calm. How he moved the villagers. How he did everything right after the start was so bad for him.
Yeah, you lose an eagle and you have the worst map I've probably seen in months. And he's somehow ahead here, and Vlad's got to be kicking himself, and there's got to be some mental strength for Vlad now. I was ahead. How did I lose with this map advantage? You know, that's gotta hurt. And look at the micro from Alaric. He brings the 2 archers over to go after the eagle. I was hoping he would actually kill the eagle. Oh, okay. Well, it just looked like the way he separated his units like that is something that really lowers the guesses for me. Like there's maybe only 4 or 5 players that might go for that in that scenario. He's on his way to Castle H.
The eagle doing good job against the skirmishers though in the back base there.
Yeah.
Didn't really fight properly. And
look at the uptime though. Alaric's on the way up.
What?
Alaric's on the way up. He did insane macro, and he maybe used the market, but if he's gonna go crossbow botkin, it might just be GG. I'm looking at Vlad. Good. Why is Vlad chopping a tree next to the mining camp? Oh man, it's all falling apart for Vlad. Oh, jeez. All right, well, I know what Alaric was doing there is he was using his skirms to focus down any skirms from Vlad, so probably thinking, I don't want him to go elite skirm. I know I'll be in Castle Age faster and can actually fight the Eagles. Now, this is a very interesting stat. Pre-Castle Age military archers, Leary, that's incredible. Leary is way ahead there. Viper's all the way at 14. It's Leary and Hera based on those recs. Well, gold mining on the way. Second TC for Alaric. Alaric is in such a firm position. Nearly, he's going to go through the palisade walls, and now it's Vlad who has to build defensive towers everywhere.
Yeah, and also goes onto skirmishers. Not really scaling too well in the long run. Alaric, he sees his opportunity. Still knows about the open golds, and now goes for the siege structure. Yeah,
and if you have the golds forward, and I guess he thinks they're all his, he's going to prioritize controlling them. And it turns out that one is Vlad's, so this could be huge. And they're so close together. If you get to Castle Age faster, look what you can do. He has a group of crossbows next to the farms. He has a group of crossbows now running in. He sees the tower. He sees the skirmishers. Not the quickest reaction time. But he's still all over the place. Vlad is... I'm near speechless at this point, just how good Alaric was able to weather that storm and get to this position.
Yeah, and like he still has Christmas in front of him, right? Because if he just expands towards the back, he suddenly gets an extra gold spot that he didn't know of.
Christmas. Yeah, I mean, that's true. He has the gold in the back if he needs to take it. He's been on stone comfortably, no worries there. And he went for an early ram, which is very rare. We saw that from Tato earlier in the series. Sorry, in the day, in another set. We think it was Tato. God, it was Saladin. Sorry, we can't spoil.
Okay,
I swear I don't.
Ram
know.
opening, ram opening, and Mangonel to follow this one up. Mass crossbow at the front. Yeah. Military 22 to 11. Give me the percentage of gold again. Of the two players.
54% for Alaric. His army is so much more deadly. 21%, 690 value for Vlad. Nice, but not so nice. The skirmishers, they don't translate well into the late game. They don't translate well into the mid game, especially against Mangonels, and now the range has gone down, so that's even less skirmishers, which was already going to be rough. I think Vlad needs big Mangonel shots to save himself from this pressure.
Certainly a way to come back, and if you defend, it's going to be more likely, but Alaric's so active here, sees everything. And he's idling like 12 farms there at the front. Another victory for him.
Yeah, so now he does need to worry. There are some Eagles that came in to raid him, but he's actually comfortably going to 3 town centers, all in one little spot of the map, which is pretty incredible. Villagers are at the top for those watching, as is the military count, as is the total population, so it's more economy for Alaric, and not only more military numbers, but I would say the more deadly composition right now.
And the control over all those gold spots at the front, right? And Mangonel now coming forward. Alaric moving back. Nice move.
Yeah.
Killed the market there as well. And yeah, Alaric just doing everything right.
Wow. We have a player in Alaric who is confident under pressure, which is not something a lot of players can say at the high level. A 1-for-1 trade there. I love the activity of the crossbows too, Nearly. Moving all around, still back macroing behind it. Sick. That was just disgusting, Micro. He's making it look so easy. He's so confident. He doesn't leave here. A lot of players might back up to the siege workshop area for a moment. Nope. And a lot of players might have died earlier. And now we're going to see a forward castle from Alaric the Goth. I love the statement. I love the statement for game 1. He says, all right, you had a better map, and now I'm going to be castling you. Uh-oh.
Oh, but loses a Mangonel. Crossbowman need to get away there as well. But it's producing Mangonels behind this. I think the castle should go up without too many losses.
Oh, as long as the splits are good. The splits are good. He takes it out, and he'll back up. Yep, that castle goes up. Anyways, the skirmishers were going to get flattened. And how did Alaric the Goth pull that win out? That was unreal from him.
Yeah, and we said, like, those are so open maps, and we will see the aggressive play, but Alaric was forced into a massive amount of walls, which actually benefited him, because Vlad tried to go for some aggression while being open at home, and got punished for it.
Yeah, I do think so. We have a combination of two things that just happened there in game 1. Alaric the Goth played really good, but Vlad also made a big mistake not going to stone. If you're sending forward villagers, you always send 3 or 4 villagers to stone so you can build more towers. And if he would have been on stone at the proper time, after building his first tower, he could have immediately built a second on the gold, and then we have a very different game. Everything that could have possibly went wrong in game 1 went wrong for Alaric the Goth, and he still got the win. That's crazy. And now we get to see one of the home maps for Vlad.
Yeah, exciting. And let's go over the statistics first.
Yeah, well, actually, I just clicked out of the statistics, so we're just going to pretend that Alaric steamrolled in the statistics. You know who is really happy about that right now? My map scripters. They are really happy. Like, imagine if this ended up being Viper versus Leary in round 1. And then after the tournament, Leary's like, oh, I had a potato map in game 1 because he lost. My map scripters would feel so bad. So they're so happy Alaric got the win. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
And wow.
Don't you feel like we can rule out a lot of players now because of not going onto stone? Because like Back T or Vivi are guys that absolutely go and send villagers on stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
So it felt like Vlad was a guy that isn't used to forwarding that much.
Yeah.
I get like fire or land vibes.
Okay. Yeah. Fire or land would prefer to be in a situation where the players are far apart. They full wall their base, and then they go into the meta. Yeah, that's true. I noticed he went forward tower into skirm defense, which I guess can work in some situations, but leaves you vulnerable. Now, the next home map is going to be Gold Rush. This will be the first time that we've ever seen Gold Rush in Hidden Cup 3, at least the main event. And Nilly, you and I casted a classic Gold Rush game way back, which will always be near and dear to my heart because it was the first time that my channel crossed 1,000 viewers. And I think that was maybe 3 years ago. And now we're in front of 20,000. That's just ridiculous to think about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it. Game 2 between Vlad Dracula and Alaric the Goth. Let's see. Will the colors switch up? Will they switch up the Sims? Obviously, they can't go Mayans. Ooh. Vlad Dracula has gone for the Khmer pick on Gold Rush. And then we have the Vikings for Alaric the Goth. Wow.
Very interesting economy approach. Vikings, a civilization that Tato and Hera like quite a bit.
I know Doubt chose it in the qualifier. We believe... I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to see Vikings here. It can work. We're looking at 2 of the best civilizations when it comes to economy. Now, I'm going to talk through a few changes with Gold Rush because it's been a while since we've seen this. My map team worked hard on making fairer maps for the main event. Vlad Dracula... What? What?
Just a sound file.
Okay. There's 3 tiles of gold per player. No, that's Golden Pit. Damn it. There's 7 tiles of gold per player. You see Vlad Dracula has 3 tiles in the back, and he has 4 tiles here. The wall potential is there, but the front of his base is still extremely open. And then you have Alaric. Alaric's golds? I mean, he's been getting shafted here. It's certainly...
Thanks, map scripters.
Yeah, it's definitely more exposed. But I think we saw in game 1, an exposed gold doesn't necessarily mean anything. Even if you have 3 exposed golds on the front, you can still get a win. And I think we'll see a wall on the front and probably play out into... Well, I don't know. That's your expertise here, Nilly. What do you even do with Vikings against Khmer? That's my question.
Obviously, your eco should still be better, right? Vikings has simply the best eco, and if you get onto Arbalest Pikemen, you are still super fine.
Okay.
So I think it is just sitting back, getting some archers, get to Castle Age, try to basically avoid fighting, and early imp is where you crush even the Khmer eco.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder what Khmer are going to do. I think how this game goes is going to be based on how the Khmer player plays it. We've been seeing a lot of fast castling from Khmer, and this would be a map for it. And then I think if that happens, maybe Vikings would have to go forward. It's tough to know what to do if you're Alaric, so I'd like to see him scout early. That way he can game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Did he see his golds yet? Yeah, he saw 1. Didn't find his 2nd gold spot yet.
Okay.
He's trying to find out the
Yeah, I mean,
spot
he's
with
probably
his
hoping it's
sheepstone.
way in the back, like maybe to the left of the stone. I think the first game was a perfect example of how sometimes having more exposed resources forces you to lock it down, whereas if you have a safe gold, you might not do as much to protect it, or you might not be as aggressive. I have to say, I think a great counter to Khmer here would be something like Slavs, a civ that also has fantastic economy, but then you have monks, and I think if Khmer are going into knights and scorpions, having a civilization with good monks where you can research redemption to convert siege and knights is normally what I would expect. So I'm really curious now. It's not like he's just picking Vikings and he hasn't prepared something. What will Alaric the Goth do here?
It looks like he wants to play very defensively, already sending out villagers quite early and now going for,
Yeah,
well,
a full
the
wall.
Chinese wall, can we call it?
Yeah, I mean, we possibly got some Mr. Yo vibes from game 1.
Oh god!
I don't know, man. He's going crazy, and it might not even be necessary to wall with 3 villagers, 4 villagers, but he is getting those walls down. There is no question.
Is he planning on a wonder victory?
Oh man, I want that. Hidden Cup 4, I want it to be standard win conditions, because I want a scenario where one person is basically dead, but they try and bank up the resources so they can build a wonder just for the lulz.
Yeah. Those are the best games,
Yeah.
honestly.
Or a
Like,
wonder
my
flex.
favorite games of all times were all wonder victories.
All of your favorite games were wonder victories. All of them.
One. All of my one favorite game.
Is a wonder victory. Got it. Well, I can see some of these players flexing with that too. If one person won't resign, the person ahead could build a wonder. But we didn't want to make any massive changes before the main event. And of course, relic victory is probably the bigger concern in terms of fairness. And, well, this is just what we talk about while players wall and boom, isn't it, Nilly? Because here come the walls for Vlad as well. Aggression is a possibility, but not when these two players are playing on this map, apparently.
Yeah, well, both players like their defensive or like their economy, some scout shenanigans.
Yeah. Looking
Surprising
at
that came out ahead.
33 HP for Vlad and 30 HP for Alaric. Is this fast castle crossbow then for Vikings? It has to be, right?
Yeah. There's no other option, in my opinion. Tries to make... Oh, and now you can see probably going for the deer and building the mining camp next to the gold. Just like we saw
The little
yesterday.
trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible he mills that, though. Nah, he's at 25 pop. Yeah, I think... So guys, fun fact. Yep. Oh! It's a mill! Okay, well, I was correct. But if you collect food or wood or any resource and then you build a mining camp or a mill, the resources actually drop off in your bank. So if this were to be a mining camp, he would still drop off that food at the top. It's good to know. Yeah, I think he's going for fast castle. Probably crossbows, and then... Not sure what to expect from Vlad, but he's up at the exact same time.
Yeah, and no loom here for Mr. Alaric, and we do have loom for Vlad.
Okay.
He sends 4 on gold. Obviously need to send a bit more on gold, because you... Oh, no.
What's
the house
up?
is actually closing it down. Yeah, I just thought the scout was passing.
Oh, yeah.
Getting it.
Yeah, for a second I thought he was just passing as well. This is going to be interesting, actually, because I think Vlad is hoping he's going to be faster to feudal. He just saw the scout, so what he wants to do is get the feudal age and attack Alaric's scout. If they find each other, they'll be in feudal age at the same moment, so they both get the extra attack and extra speed. Wow, pretty slow start to the game. There's one wolf protecting the rest of the gold in the center. Just 7 tiles of gold for players to work with at their base, and then it's all about the center.
Now, Vlad, what will he play? I wouldn't mind, like, double TC and just a siege workshop as a defense. And it should even work better than in the Saladin game that we saw in Ravines earlier.
Yeah.
Because now Vikings don't have the extra range in Castle Age.
I feel like if you know your opponent doesn't have the archers out yet, because I still... Alaric, he's going to build the range, he's going to build the blacksmith, but if you can possibly be sneaky enough, maybe you could get a town center up in the middle if you're Alaric, or if you're Vlad. Vlad would be more risky because archers will be coming out, but Alaric should probably expect nothing until the castle age. Maybe a town center on the right side could work. I highly doubt that, though. Normally, players are a lot safer.
Stable here by Vlad. So,
nice.
And dropping 2 more farms. So that will be quite some nights, in my opinion. Only has 4 on gold, though, so won't go super crazy, but I think want to see some map control. Oh, but Scout's trading off again.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about this is if Alaric loses this, he won't have any intel. Oh, and he does lose this. Yeah, so I think you can probably assume, because we've seen this too many times from Khmer on Gold Rush. But now Alaric won't know if he can move out. He won't know if it's a Siege Workshop edition for Vlad, if it's Knights and a Siege Workshop, or what. But he's going for 2 archery range crossbows.
But only 5 on gold at the moment, so he's going for the deer for quite some time, so can't really afford 2 archery ranges.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to drop off the food and then go to the gold, something like that. It's true. Yeah. A bit light on gold, indeed, but he's keeping them producing right now. And I love Vlad's scouting. Vlad sees the ranges. He has to be careful, of course, with the weak scout. That's good stuff, and wow, Khmer are just insane. Already in the next stage. And forward Siege Workshop, yeah, so you have an opportunity to go forward because you see that your opponent has not sent any archers out yet. I like the confidence there from Vlad.
Is it that forward, though?
I mean, I guess it's not forward, but it's in a position where it's obvious he wants to lock down the center.
Yeah, and not give up the hill, like, that could be so ugly against him. Goes for a Scorpion first before we see any TCs being dropped.
I think he town centers the middle. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
No. That's exactly what I wanted to say, yeah.
Yeah. The wolf, the poor wolf gets taken down. I'm still not loving Vikings. I feel like Khmer are so good with the boom, and Night Scorpion is only countered here if you get a bunch of crossbows, which is possible with Vikings, or if you have some good monks involved. And that's not something that Vikings have. They have pretty poor monks, actually.
Now we'll see about that. Now 9 on gold here by Alaric. Tries to make something happen with his archers. Crossbowman is coming in. No Bodkin yet. And Vlad with a lot of map control.
Yeah, it's a bit risky, right? I think with archers, it's always about numbers, so maybe Alaric should back up. Did you see if he spotted the Scorpion there? He definitely spotted the Knights. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I think he saw everything, yeah. He's now going back. And adds only 1 TC behind this as well. And yeah, you keep saying Slav eco is so strong. The thing is with Slav eco, you actually see, like, the numbers are constantly rising. It's ridiculous, right? Yep. And the eco feels so fast. Vikings, the eco bonus doesn't feel so natural because, yeah, it's kind of a hidden bonus.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't go up like that. Yeah.
It's tricky.
Well, Alaric just needs to hide, man. I think he needs to hide. He saw the Scorpions now. He doesn't even have Bodkin arrow yet, Nilly. This is not a time to be outside of your base. I think patience is needed if you're Alaric.
Yeah, I think deleting the wall and getting in is the right decision here. And yeah, what are the next steps here? Doesn't have a lot of farms working for himself. At the moment, I see 9 farms. Not that easy to get Bodkin there and having 2 TCs running.
I mean, granted, we can say that gold position's probably not the best, but he could have gone for a safer one. And I'm still questioning why pick Vikings when Khmer is a meta pick. You're not getting any map control against this composition. Now, if he takes the Scorpions out of there, then you never know. And he is making a Maganel, but no Bodkin yet for the crossbows. The Knights and the Scorpions are working well for Vlad. This is very important for him after such a weird start to game 1. And now he will have his second town center on the gold, Nilly. So not full control for Vlad, but certainly a big share of the gold going to him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Counterattack is coming in. Meanwhile, Alaric not on gold at all. Is switching onto stone. The counterattack is not in time. Yep. Second TC up. Nice timing there for Vlad.
It's kind of this is pretty awkward for Alaric because Vlad, he's well aware that he can kill this. And he's well aware that now Alaric is not at his base with that military. So let's see what happens here. And nice split micro from Alaric to get out of there. That was cute. I'm still really worried for these crossbows, though.
Yeah, but not dying there isn't the most important thing. Now they're so low that a single Scorpion hit might even get some kills here instantly. I think that army will get cleared up. It's the most important thing that Vlad is not losing any knights now.
Yeah, Micro the weak one's away. There, he's lost a knight. He's gonna lose. Oh, he tried to Micro the weak one away. He could lose another one. I think he's gonna be okay. Yeah, Khmer just seems so strong. The game plan from Vlad was all about map control. The game plan from Alaric was about sitting back, and you can't do that on Gold Rush. And I guess Vlad's strategy is pretty good considering this is his home map. You know, he thought about this. Maybe Alaric just isn't a player who is all that good on Gold Rush, and he didn't know what to pick.
Well, he knows that he needs a tech switch now, and he is going for double stable, will go for knights, +1 defense here as well. And Vlad, he most likely won't expect that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to expect that, and that could be pretty good, you know? You have the knights show up. First off, there's not any upgrades on the knights for Vlad. So you could have knights with more upgrades and in more numbers, maybe. Certainly will clear out the scorpions, and then maybe you continue to make archers at the same time. He's been heavy on stone, so maybe if he gets a big engagement, Nilly, he could just waltz forward and even drop a castle on those town centers.
Ooh, 300 stone in the bank at the moment. 5 villagers working there. Mangonel can come over as well. But honestly, only 2 stables. Vlad is now dropping his second stable as well.
Yep.
He can take the fights from the hills. Is now going for bloodlines, an option that Alaric does not have.
Yeah, Vikings do not get that upgrade, which means 20 less HP on each knight. I think this comes down to how Vlad plays this. A smart player is going to continue to create military. I think a unwise player is going to be very passive and think, oh, I've got this. You definitely don't have this yet. Vlad, you've got to create units. And okay, he sees the knights. So now he knows, all right, I have better knights. I should be fine.
Yeah, he sees only +1 defense, has the same bloodlines in addition. And yeah, just click that produce hotkey, make it a long drawn-out castle fight, and Alaric will simply starve on gold.
Yeah, now there's still a lot of villagers on stone. I love berserks against knights, but that's late game. It's not early game. You can't do that. I like Alaric adding the scout. He's looking for any possible monks that are out there. Will Alaric have enough? Now imagine if it was crossbows and knights. Had he never sent those crossbows forward, then you have something working for you there. Bit of a combo.
If he didn't lure the knights and scorpions away, they would have knocked at his front door for quite some time.
That's
then
true.
He could have never gotten the monastery out. The knights would have been spotted earlier. It was a tricky decision.
Yeah. Now, pikeman is not a bad play if he takes care of those scorpions. The risk of going too heavy into pikes is that the scorpions are out. So I think for this to go right for Alaric, the scorpions need to go down to either the Maganel or his own knights. He does kill one. And then with a full pike switch behind this, the economies are pretty close. It is possible. Oh, the micro, really good from Vlad, but the delete trick from Alaric, that was sick. Ends up being 1 for 1.
Beautiful move. Oh, beautiful move. And it seems like pikemen cannot really fight because they don't have the upgrade yet. Knights are diving in, +1/+1 and bloodlines. Vlad wants to take this fight now.
Yeah, okay, Alaric wants to take it, or has to take it. Pikeman comes in, and 12 knights at the moment, 9 knights. It's not bad for Vlad. When you have the gold, I don't think this is an awful fight to take. It's actually extremely good fight for him, as his army has much better value. And he'll have no complaints about this.
A bit more to have the scorpions come over. Beautiful snipes there by Alaric in the back. But honestly, better eco for Vlad. Military count 15-6. Still has the gold control. And pikemen, well, they are only here for one-dimensional push. And only good against knights. If we see like 3-4 scorpions and we see more siege workshops, that's likely. I think Vlad is in a beautiful spot here.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to consider not only the economy, but the fact that the knights have solid upgrades too. So if you have knights with upgrades versus pikes that don't have many upgrades, it's a sad story for the pike. Now upgrades are coming in, but Neely, I'm just gonna say it. People can probably tell from the way I've been casting this. I don't understand Vikings, and it bothers me. Like he has done everything he could do with Vikings, but why pick Vikings here of all places?
Well, maybe if he has a more defensive map and can get onto crossbowmen and some defense, we would say, yeah, Vikings economy is so good.
That's true.
Clear choice.
That's true.
I think the bad map really punished him because Vikings is a civilization that needs some time, and the map didn't give it to him.
Yeah. But he's had all of his gold this whole time. He didn't have it temporarily, and maybe that's what forced him to push out. But there was just a moment where he couldn't take the gold. He has his gold. What is this? Oh. This is a hopeful castle.
Make or break him. And that's the castle placed, and he still has 700 stone in the bank.
But there's an outpost from Vlad. Vlad sees it. Oh, it's doubt. It's doubt. Oh, no. Doubt confirmed.
Oh, some knights are coming over, but he's not sending all of them. Some knights are going back to fight for the pikemen. I think the castle will go up. I think that's a mistake by Vlad. I think he could have snagged every villager and then run away.
Yeah, like stop the castle, and then you can fight the pikemen. The scorpions are already there. It's not doubt. Sorry, guys, don't freak out. It's not doubt. I think the castle goes up. Not doubt confirmed.
Yeah, I think he didn't need to fight those pikemen at all, right?
Yeah.
Just send the scorpions back into your base and take the knights and kill every single villager. I think there was a misplay by Vlad there. Not sure how important that's going to be. Imp timings is something we need to take a look at now. We see 400 food here for Alaric, and on the other side, well, some market usage. I see Vlad clicking up pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the castle up anyways. He's going to stop knight production. He has more than enough knights already. With the faster Imperial, he can just make trebuchets. But it is important that he's quick with this, because Alaric will realize that there's a risk in that. I worry for Alaric because of the lack of momentum in this game. He still can't mine any gold in the center, and there is the Imperial Age click for Vlad. Now, Vikings, I think they're a civilization that gets a lead in Castle Age on a map like Arabia, where you have a lot of access to resources. And then in Imp, you can have really strong technologies. But the best Gold Rush civilizations, or at least just the way to play Gold Rush, is heavy Castle Age aggression. Khmer is one of the best at that. See if Alaric can maybe make some Berserk. So maybe Pikeman Berserk long term.
I just did nearly math. You only have 1900 gold in the back there as well. So even every trap will be so costly for him. Castle is now in a tricky situation that we actually see patterns being built by Vlad.
Whoa, that's such a power move. That's great, because the only way you lose this game is if you lose the middle, and he might think that Alaric will be up to the Imperial Age soon, and that would be the case. So if you make petards, I think you need 8 of them, plus some help from the knights. You can take care of that castle, and then there's no way that Alaric can make trebuchets.
Yeah, I think since he's already weakening the castle, and the castle we castleified, 7 petards should do the job as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, better safe than sorry. Just go for 8, have your knights soak some of the damage. But honestly, that's not the most important thing. Archery range is now being added. They can easily even go for Arbalest behind this.
Yeah. So, switching into range, very smart decision, because the pike is the only thing to threaten you. A mix of both. I'm just in awe of the economy of Vlad. I'm looking at the town centers in the middle. And you know who else built 2 town centers in the middle but also farmed there? Because I know that it's kind of uncommon to send villagers to gold and then farm with them. Velez did that in the Hidden Cup 3 show match. That's a name that we haven't brought up yet. I haven't seen enough from Vlad, but it's something to think about.
Oh, it's tricky to see. I think people will have problems really figuring out who Velez is.
Yeah, I'm thinking
because
the same.
he's like not like super common. It's not like the max hype since Hidden Cup 2.
He's much better than he was last year. He could arguably be better than Max right now.
Oh, petard go!
There they go. The petards come in. Now I think he had 7 there, but he also did some damage with his castle, and now he has the knights, and he says goodbye. Goodbye to your castle. What a play from Vlad. And now he has a treb ready for the next castle that Alaric has built. And he's making a full switch behind this into some range he needs to deal with the pikes. Neely, I just want to say, I'm pretty damn sure that Yoda yesterday might have been Velez, but I'm willing to say that I will probably be shocked after the fact. Might be way off base there.
That's the beauty of the tournament, right? Okay, Cavalier now, Arbalest, Ballistic. We're going for all the upgrades here. Alaric, how much gold does he have left? 800 gold left.
Wow.
That's the last thing he can work with. And it's basically only pikemen against Arbalest Scorpion.
Yeah. You've got to go, you got to put all your gold into siege. And then you're going only pikes. And the transition has already come in. And oh no, the pikes weren't even in front of the trebuchet. Alaric. Boom. Well, that's 200 gold down the drain. Good luck making more trebuchets, Alaric. And good luck pushing it all with the pikemen. Now that the Arbalest are here.
Yeah, that's so tricky.
This is such a close matchup. In game 1, after the way Alaric played, I was thinking this could be a top 5 player. And then I saw Vikings, and now I'm seeing how Vlad is playing, and I'm just all over the place with who this could be. I don't have any real guesses on who either player could be, and they're very even.
Well, we can maybe read a bit onto the GG timing. If Alaric loses all his pikemen, loses the castle, and won't give up for another 3 minutes, it's Yo confirmed.
Yo confirmed. That's true. We did think Yo game 1. Yeah. I mean, he's certainly not giving up. And if he GG'd 5 minutes ago, Leary and Nikov confirmed?
Yeah.
Alright, GG. Man, the players are just gonna hate us after the fact as we're trying to guess. Well played, Vlad Dracula. That's the first time we've seen Gold Rush in the main event. He had a civ for it, he had a plan for it, and I think that Alaric the Goth definitely did not have a lot of Gold Rush games in his practice matches before, because he did not have a solid game plan at all. Wasn't even close, man. I felt like we just talked for the last 20 minutes with the expected result of Vlad Dracula winning.
Yeah, honestly, like the map generation, like that's what I commented like at minute 3, right?
Yeah, of course.
It was just so unfortunate.
I'm gonna disagree with you a bit there. Obviously the map was unfortunate, but regardless, you could have all the golds in the back of your base, you're still going crossbows against Night Scorpion, you're still in Castle Age later. It's just tough for me to justify picking Vikings there, unless he wants to save Khmer, or save Slavs, or what other civilizations he thinks are good there for future maps, and we'll see that next. But more food and more wood collected for Vlad, way more gold obviously, because he locked it down unpressured, unchallenged in early Castle Age. And that's all she wrote. Pretty quick game for game number 2, and the score is tied up 1-1. Now, Cup and Hideout are the home maps for Alaric. 2 very different maps, actually. And Nilly, we won't waste any time. Game 3, let's go. Ooh. I like it. I think this is a first for the main event. So guys, I've been seeing some comments in the Twitch chat. And I know that the color 6 can sometimes give players some problems when it comes to color blindness. So I know if there's a few viewers out there who are complaining about it. I think considering that purple or magenta is pretty close to red, I'm going to switch the colors for the remaining games just for those people. Wait a second. My hotkey doesn't work. Sorry, I tried. I don't know if I can. It actually changes the overlay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can do it. Nilly, can you change team colors from within the settings? Do you know?
If like I'm using Alt G, obviously.
Yeah, Alt G for me changes the fog of war within my casting program.
Okay. I know the old capture age had it on T. The letter T.
Yeah, I don't think that's implemented here. We didn't get to that. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I can't really do anything about it here. If I could go into the game and do it, then I would go for it. But the player colors are really important, and also the civs. And Neely, there's one player who co-casted with me for the qualifiers. He hates gold. He hates Gold Rush, and he loves Vikings on Cup. And his name is MBL. And so this is the second time I'm thinking, is this MBL? He freaking hates Gold Rush. He played awful on Gold Rush. Like, Yeah, I don't know. But wait, hold on. Vlad Dracula has picked Vikings. I'm all over the place. Vlad Dracula won on Gold Rush, and he's picked Vikings. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's fine. This is fine.
It's fine. So it can't be MBL because he played too well on Gold Rush?
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Okay.
Well, he did pick it as a home map, so I don't think Vlad is MBL. Sorry. Took us a while to come to that conclusion. But the strategy is really fascinating because instead of fighting for water in early feudal on either side, you instead end up going for something like scouts, which is rather uncommon. I think Alaric has maybe gone for a different approach with the Persians and having extra food and wood.
Alaric is dropping the dock now at the bottom pond, and Vlad actually only 3 on wood, and that's going to be a man-at-arm opening from him. He will not contest the water as the Viking player.
Yeah, I think it might even be the scout play. So what MBL said is you do not dock in Dark Age, you go for 21 or 22 pop scouts, you use scouts and spears to clear out the opponent's fish, and Alaric has docked right now. So he'll fish for a little while. And then you transition back onto water in the Castle Age and go for longboats. That's the whole idea behind the Vikings play. I think Persians are really good for this, though, aren't they?
Well, Persians are really good on every hybrid map, right?
Yeah.
The economy is good, it's easy to contest water, and you're strong on land. So, yeah, sweet choice. And also something, like minor, but really nice. Alaric, he's going for the salmon first that doesn't have the pond, but the shore water around him.
That's pretty huge.
So he can later save the fishing ships easier.
Yeah. When these are threatened by any lands military, you hide them there. That's a good point. That's a small thing. I really will be focusing on Vlad and what Vlad's strategy is. I think if it was another map, you would expect man-at-arms, Millie. You're spot on, but I'm wondering if he's going to go for that, which might be more meta, so to speak, or if he wants to go for the scout play. He's getting loom. It looks like a scout build.
Yeah, as you predicted. So, Vlad, maybe we rethink everything we said before. It could be MBL after all.
Yeah, I thought MBL was bad neighbor yesterday, but it would have been MBL on a, well, for lack of a better term, bad day. It's hard to know what type of form MBL is going to bring in Hidden Cup, because I feel like he's probably the one top 5 player, or last year we would have called him top 5, who hasn't really adapted well to DE. And I haven't seen him really trying to adapt well to DE either. And so going into Hidden Cup 3, I remembered he was a finalist in Hidden Cup 1. He lost in the semifinals to Viper in Hidden Cup 2, and he played extraordinarily well. I just don't know what his form's going to be like here.
Yeah, and that's so tricky to say, right? We know that AM players practiced with each other.
Yeah.
And they apparently had some even showings against each other, so they have to be in form. But MBL has such a high, like, basics ground skill.
Yeah.
And Hera isn't really a guy who tries to exploit that, right? He wants to play the games that he enjoys as well.
True. Yeah, I don't know. So my point here is MBL is going to be a bit more difficult to guess in this Hidden Cup than the previous, I would say. Because you never would expect MBL to possibly lose in round 1, and the guy I thought who might have been him lost in round 1 yesterday. But MBL also said in front of 8,000 viewers what his strategy would be on this map with Vikings. And he also has teammates in this tournament, so we could be looking at an MBL teammate going for the strategy, or someone who felt like it was a good one. Both players are in feudal, and we have archer range opening for Alaric, and we have the stable and spear opening for Vlad.
Oh man, this is so weird. And what a weird base layout here by Alaric as well, right? Those walls in between the woodland and this TC.
Yeah.
Potentially trap the scout there. Now some spearman aggression. That looks really MBL. Lots of walls. Exactly the strategy you predicted.
Yeah.
Let's just erase the first 2 games out of our memory.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm gonna challenge myself to try not to guess player identities anymore in this game. That is a real challenge because it's so fun. I'm now curious, will Alaric be able to keep his fishing ships working? Because scouts and spears can be pretty decent against the fire ship, but I would expect a few more spears. What? That actually wasn't worth it at all.
Vlad just lost all his army, basically, to kill one fire galley.
You send 2 more spears, it's fine. Okay, I said I can't do it. It's not MBL. MBL would never play it like this. He would never go for early range. He would go for farms for faster castle age. I'm sorry, my challenge failed. I think when you go for this strategy, you use the spear bonus for ships, and then you have scouts and use the mobility against any archers or any villagers, and he just tossed all of any control away.
So weird. Now he goes for the archer range, not on gold, so that's only for skirmishers. Fire galley still active. Alaric walls behind this quite nicely.
Yeah, it's good. Looks weird, the way he's walling, but it's actually pretty smart because there's scouts out, and scouts could get here in no time. Only one weak scout, though.
Are there?
Yeah.
It's like one with 11 HP, and now he builds another one that just runs through the center.
Well, and now you start to question the strategy of going for scouts. If you don't take out the fishing ships, the standard play of going into fishing ships and farms is just better. A 34 economy for Alaric and only 28 for Vlad. And archer transition is going to be rather complicated because Alaric already has some archers and Alaric also has water control. So now I'm curious, will Alaric even try and extend his lead further and maybe dock the other side nearly and fish more?
Well, especially against Vikings, it should be pretty easy, right? Because your opponent can't really contest you in feudal age, but we will have a small engagement in the center. No, Vlad thinks better of it.
Yeah, you have fletching archers, and now Vlad is going for skirms. Pretty much playing this like an Arabia game right now. Scouts into skirms. You can do it with Vikings, it's not super common, but yeah, he'll get fletching for himself here in a moment. And for him, I think he has to push out a little bit. You're behind so heavily in economy because of the fishing ships. You've got to take them out. You've got to get an advantage somehow, and I think it's got to be military.
Maybe the better economy there. Try to get to castle age. We have fletching now. Alaric needs to run, but obviously get some help from order.
Yep.
Still no second dock. Something we wanted to see.
Yeah. Now keep in mind that the ships cannot cross over to the other side. So Alaric can protect himself here. He's actually making a demo, so that would be something to look at. But if he wants to protect himself on the other side, if this is dangerous to him, he would need another dock. You can't sail over. So I think Vlad will probably... I don't know, he's kind of torn, right? He probably wants to take out the fishing ships. But also, he knows that there's a threat of any potential demo.
Let's see, now goes back. Skirms are trying to make something happen here. Alaric, he isn't too far away from clicking to castle age. 400 food, 300 gold. On the other side, Vlad, I would say deep in feudal age.
Yeah, it's all stemming from not having a strat to kill the fishing ships. That's hundreds and hundreds of food. I think Alaric knows this too. He's not concerned about pushing out. He's not taking any bad fights with his archers. And now he's adding a stable, so he's thinking, I'm just going to go to Castle Age. And if I make knights against this, you're in real trouble, Vlad.
That army just dies to one knight.
Yeah.
Oh god, Skirm and Scouts here losing some HP. Maybe luring into the demo.
Oh, it's getting close, but good awareness from Vlad. Vlad noticed it. But Vlad just can't do damage. The strategy has not worked yet at all, Nilly.
Demo didn't lose any HP, so the threat stays alive there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have the walls, even rewalling there, more houses, more palisades. Alaric plays it so safe. Beautiful game by him.
You know what's so interesting? In game 2, we were saying how Vlad obviously had trained that home map and how good he looked. He looks worse on this map than Alaric. we're seeing the beauty of home maps right before our eyes right now. Vlad does click up, and there's still potential if he gets docks up. I think that's huge here. You've got to get some docks up and get longboats out. Oh, and he's docking the left side. Okay.
Oh, sweet. And that could give him some nice support behind his skirmishes if he wants to continue attacking from that angle. And yeah, Alaric isn't really sneaking a village out, or is he? Look at that, Tristan.
Alaric sneaking a villager out. Where, I'm sorry, where? oh, there. Okay. Oh,
Passing
yeah.
his 2 fire galleys and builds it at the gold island there.
This is... I actually think this is a bit concerning, though. Because if you are going for 1 dock fires against what I assume will be I don't know what to assume. Vlad is fishing on this side. I thought he was gonna go for longboats. He's adding fishing ships on this side.
You need to get castle aged for longboats first. So.
I mean,
oh,
true.
demo though.
Wow, that thing has come close twice now. Yeah, maybe add fishing ships and then longboats. But I think if you're going longboats, you go more than one dock, right? You probably add 2.
Yeah, maybe just wants to have like a hidden eco bonus, right? Or
Yeah.
eco increase. Just go for 3 fishing ships and not really contest it too much. Because as you said, you need to mass those longboats up. That's why we normally see more and more. Oh, what's that of a siege workshop in the center of the map?
What? Siege workshop in the center of the map. Wow, Alaric wants to go aggressive. And he added some scouts to trade against the skirmishers. Now, funny enough, that's a very MBL move. Add some scouts before you add the knights for some map control. And he has 1 stable knight. He's adding a 2nd town center. He's had the fishing ships. He actually canceled the siege workshop idea and is going for a monastery. All right.
Yeah. So changed his mind 3 times. No 2nd stable, no siege workshop left-hand side, no siege workshop right-hand side. Now the monastery. Well, and he didn't get too much more intel there. Quite baffling.
Is it a doubt monastery? No, it's not. And the demo! The demo versus the longboat. That's unique. There's not a lot of water control over here for Alaric. I wish he would have docked here a bit earlier. He's added a war galley. He must not have expected the longboats, Nilly. Vlad actually has a fighting chance here.
Yeah, and Alaric, he didn't scout the dock, yeah. So that's quite surprising to me. Aggression still from Alaric in the center. Drops 2 TCs behind this. So this looks like a lot of aggression. But
Yeah.
Alaric, he's just fine with sitting back as well.
Yeah, so Alaric is gonna, I think he's gonna live with how ahead he is with economy. Should expect to be ahead by a few villagers, and he wants to extend that. And Vlad recognizes how important this gold is on this map. It's so cool. I love how there's so many options. We saw one player go scouts, one player go archers, one player go water, one player wait to go on water until this age, and there's a demo! And the demo will actually land nicely on the longboats. And now there's more demos, and Vlad micros well because he knows the demos can't cross over to this side. This has turned into a very close game, Nilly. A 68 population for both of them.
Yeah, beautiful. But so many skirmishers in that population included as well. And that's where your army value stat really comes in handy as well. I expect Alaric, although they have the same military numbers, to be ahead in the value.
Yeah, I think what's more valuable, though, having the demos and longboats on the left, or having scouts, knights, and archers and 2 demos on the right, where there's really nothing there? I think there's some real concern for Alaric. He might climb ahead with the vill count a bit, and he's doing so, but if you have 10, 15 plus longboats on the left as Vikings, there's not much Persians can really do against that. He's got to be very, very careful.
True. I think he should just try to trade off the left-hand side. Keep those longboat numbers low.
Yeah.
Send him some knights, maybe a monk. Try to make something happen. Simply to not face 10 longboats at one moment.
Yeah, that's true. Keep that down and then extend your boom as much as possible. Speaking of booming, 3rd town center now for Vlad Dracula. And both players are really hesitant to push out. There's really not a lot happening right now, but I think it's the calm before the storm.
And it's also like both players are simply scared running into demos, right? That's the potential phase where we could lose the game.
Oh! Oh my god, he got 2 demos, 3 scouts, and 6 crossbows there. Not sure on the exact number, but that was a huge demo from Alaric. You called that one, Nilly. Oh, Vlad has got to be pissed at that one. Alright, well, Alaric is Tato confirmed.
That's why you don't move out. Another demo tries to connect, but is getting shut down there. Oh god, that was so bad. And Vlad, basically the last 15 minutes of this game were basically, okay, don't need a demo, don't need a demo, don't need a demo. Okay, let's build a farm at home. Ah!
That's so true. That's what happens. You look away and then boom, you're dead. And that's probably the exact noise whoever that player was made as well. Now 2 docks on the right, and if Vlad, if he surrounds with longboats on the right as well, you range some farms, you take out the fish traps. There's a lot of map control to be gained here. But, oh, there's way too many fires and demos inside that dock for Vlad to deal with. And Vlad was looking away. He was worried about the archers and skirmishers getting attacked. The longboats just haven't paid off yet. It's 32 kills and 11 deaths for Alaric.
Yeah, and I think it's the worst idea if you go for longboats to split into 2 pawns.
Yeah.
Because you simply trade so much worse if you have the half the army
That's
against the fire guys. You want to mass up.
Yeah, it's a good point. And it wasn't like Alaric was making a lot of knights. So there's no threat in the center just yet. And now 2 fishing ships go down for Vlad. It is 106 population for Alaric. But that's 84 vills against just 68 for Vlad. So Alaric's early 3 town centers, plus having the faster working town centers as Persians, is paid off. And with that, we will see a crazy imp time. Look at the resources for him.
Yeah, ridiculous. And now you can show your capture aid skills. Go into the stats of Lost Army. I think Vlad
you're testing
lost
me
like
here.
4 times or something the same army value.
Ooh, yeah, so it's actually
Alaric.
killed value, so it shows it from the other perspective. Alaric killed 3,100 resources worth of military. Actually, have that stat go up a bit for Vlad here as he sends demos and longbows out. Or not longbows, sorry, longboats. But it's just a few fishing ships. Good stuff, man. I'm still wondering what the play is for Alaric. You're Persians, you're against Vikings. It can be risky, but I still think with this eco lead, you're probably going for stable units.
I think you can go for a lot of stuff, right? Behind this, on the other side, we have 500 stone for Vlad. Now goes for the university. 500 food, 300 gold there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of control at the back. And, well, now we're going massively for stone. I think this is just the typical Persian over boom. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Force TC and then Commanderan and Hussars and just full map control.
I actually think he's going to prioritize fast fire because he's building a second dock. He still recognizes the threat of the long boats, and I believe that he will go fast fire first, try and clean up water, and then maybe a big castle in the center, and then full Cavalier, or even he just go straight Paladin. I've been seeing a lot of players do that. You take the map control with fires, just wait for the Paladin upgrade.
Well, yeah, he needs 20-30 more villagers for that, for sure. For now, as you said, water control, the most important thing. What are your thoughts about this monastery in the center? He even drops in the relics there. Very exposed.
Yeah, that's weird. A confident player would do that. A player who thinks he's not going to lose the center would do that. He does have a demo in there, and we've seen this before, but the awareness is there for Vlad. We could convert that, or he could just tank a shot. That hurts. Oh, and the fires as well. They have careening now, Nilly, and there's a demo for Vlad, but he's not using it. He's not using it. Use the demo. It's a dumb demo.
Full Titanic for Vlad. Tried to micro at the front. Now a castle being dropped very aggressively there. Kind of controlling the gold island behind this. Fast fire ships. And this is Alaric going full control here.
Okay, so not too many players know that this is amphibious terrain. You can build on this, and Alaric has definitely done that. He built houses out here. He built a monastery. He's now placing a castle right in front of Vlad's base. He's going for the Cavalier upgrade. And nearly, he has 1 stable. Yeah, he's going straight Paladin. He knows that Fast Fire is going to do enough for him right now. I believe he's just going to wait for the Paladin upgrade before even producing many Cavalier.
29 farmers. Now he drops some more. Goes up into the 40s, but...
Might not be enough right now, you're right. I think with only 111 villagers, it might be a bit too bold. What a castle spot, though.
He has a lot of map control, yeah.
Another castle! Oh, first it was bold. It just got bolder. Are you kidding me, Vlad? Vlad is looking... Alaric is looking to send a message here. Like, listen, don't pick Gold Rush again against me. I don't like that map. So I'm going to make you pay the price for that. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. And Cavalier numbers. Do we really only have 1 stable? He's producing Cavalier out of 1 stable. That's so weird. Okay, so if you're not upgrading Paladin at this point, you should be making Cavalier for map control. And if you're not making any military and you build 2 forward castles, it could actually give Vlad an opportunity back into the game if he trebs those castles down. So, alright, he's going to solve that problem and build stables on the water. Wow. And he still like gets all the map control behind this, right? He now did simply add another 30 villagers.
Yep. True.
And just controlled so much. he will be happy. And with all that map control, now he goes onto the gold island there as well. He just sits back, waits for 40 Cavaliers, and tries to finish it that way.
Yeah, and I think the key is continue to boom, too. All of his town centers are producing vills. Boom, 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 boom. And then for Vlad, I guess you're going Arb and Pike right now, which can work in mass. Still only 21 military, though. He needs to somehow expand, and he's trying his best at the moment.
Yeah, and he needs all upgrades there, especially out of the castles. He will give him some more options against all the Cavaliers. But is he even seeing? Like, let's go into Vlad's point of view. What does he see of army? He sees some Cavaliers there, but he must be surprised, like 5 Cavaliers only?
Yeah.
Are you planning a tech switch? What is coming behind this?
When you see that score, though, you know whatever it is isn't good. You know, it's not like a bunch of unupgraded spearmen are going to arrive. He knows that his situation isn't good. And now he sees the Cavaliers. So he prepared the pikes. He was expecting that. Oh, sorry about that there. But I don't think Alaric needs to tech switch at all. I think he just needs to keep pumping out Cav. He has more trebs. And it doesn't matter. The GG is called. This has been a back and forth series. Oh, we have a bug at the top. Apparently, Vlad Dracula was researching Elite Kipchek.
Mercenary, I have the same thing, yeah. I just wanted to ask you.
Wait, is that within the game? That's not the casting overlay. That's DE.
No, that's not catch rate. No. I have it as well.
Oh, thanks, DE. What? Elite Kipchek mercenary. What?
Cheater confirmed here. I think if he got 10 Elite Kipchek here.
10 Elite Kipcheks at GG. Yeah, so just to clarify, because we have a lot of people watching, Vikings do not get Kipcheks, much less Elite Kipchek, and they also do not get Mercenaries, which is a Magyar tech. Apparently that's a DE bug, which is surprising. It's not known for DE to have any bugs. But anyways, back and forth series, game 1, Alaric weathered an incredible storm with an awful map. Then game 2, Vlad Dracula was incredible on Gold Rush. And then game 3, we go to Alaric's home map, and it seems like he was prepared nearly.
Robo writes restore.
Oh, there's a restore. Oh, okay. So we're gonna act like this game... Listen, we're gonna play a fun game where we act like this game isn't already over for the next 2 minutes before he actually resigns. Let's go.
Okay. What are those Kipcheks going to do, Tristan?
Yeah, here we are. We're back into the game. Obviously, Vlad thinks he has a chance. He just researched Elite Kipchek. And, ooh, what did... Okay, Alaric said never mind. Interesting.
Cancelled mercenaries, apparently.
and funny enough, if you look at the population, it's not out of reach for Vlad, and he just killed all the trebuchets.
Oh, and we lost some seconds there as well, right? It seems like a lot of stuff advanced there for Vlad, and Alaric didn't do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so there's some things with drops. We have restore. Heavy demos on the way for Alaric, but we have restore now. But when the players drop is always up in the air on DE. Sometimes you can actually miss a couple seconds, so... Still, I feel like he should have had military there, right? We talked about him having the time. So he researched Commander on now, but all of his castles on the front are going down.
Persian castles in the end, not that important. After you get
your
the
text,
upgrades,
yeah.
Most important thing is conscription and commander run, so
yeah, I'm just going to explain what happened because people were asking questions. So someone dropped, meaning that internet dropped, the game crashed, something like that, and they restored from that point. So I called it GG. Maybe people that went to go get a glass of water and get ready for the next best of 5 are confused and are now coming back. But I'm actually really excited, Nilly, because there could be some massive demo shots coming up. Look at those heavy demos. Get the T90 Tato spam going, guys. He loves his demos.
Those are all so low HP, so clumped up. Ooh.
You can't move out if you're Vlad, can you?
Really, it's only like the very small way through the center, but then you're always surrounded by demos, and every time basically unit steps off that, he dies. Yeah,
it would be so funny if this was like role-playing or something. Alaric's like, I will allow you to pass through the center area, and then the demos came in from either side. I think Vlad's got to expand now. He's got to branch out to this gold. Alaric knows the gold is out there, so he's all over it. Has 2 relics right now, by the way, with a 3rd in the back of his base on the right side. Still not seeing much from Alaric. I think he's just waiting, getting upgrades to make some crossbows, and has all the gold in the center nearly. Still in a firm lead. Just waiting for him to push.
Yeah, Vlad will run out of gold in some time. Still has 3.5k in the bag. Demos just sharking around. Alaric now with the overboom. 145 villagers and has, what is that? 8 hussars queued up out of 5 stables.
I think
he now queues up some more crossbows.
He's got to go paladin with these resources. Like, at least click it. He has the resources for paladin. It takes a long time for that upgrade to come in, but he may be more focused on getting something like siege ram. Yeah, he sees the Arbalest, and Vlad is looking to move out. Now, guys, I think for me... Oh, God. Nearly, if you can hear me... Can you hear me? I think my PC just went on and off. But I believe I still have internet access due to the fact that, I believe I still have internet access. It's really weird. It's like one PC, my battery backup kept one PC on, and the internet on, and the rest of the power flicked. Shit. Okay, well, I'll be back in a second, and we'll be back in the game. Can you guys hear me? Wait, you can hear me! Oh, shit! I swear twice. Whoops, sorry, PG stream. Alright, so what just happened is that I have battery backup, but apparently it's not connected to my main PC. So I can't hear Neely at the moment. I don't think you guys can either. Sorry. The demos are coming in! Oh, we just missed the biggest shot! Sorry, I'll try and act like I know what's going on. Like, it was so confusing because I could see chat moving and saying F, but I didn't think you could hear me. Alright, well, this PC takes a little while, so in the meantime, how you doing? I can see chat, so maybe it's a great time to say hello or something. What's worse, making a joke and losing 7,000 viewers, or technically not dropping, maintaining viewership, but dropping the game? Yeah, unfortunately, I can't actually see individual names as much as I would like because my second PC is on the other side of the desk, but sorry, I guess, for the delay. There's not much I can really do. I can blame Willis for not connecting I can blame the PC guy for not getting both my PCs connected to the battery backup. But that's about it. My power flicked on and off, and we're back, so works for one PC. So let's act as if we are in intermission. I think the way the direction this game is going, it's gonna be extremely difficult for Vlad to push. You have demos on either side. You have, I assume Paladin gonna come in at some point, but it looks like the prioritization is gonna be Siege Ram with the food. Not seeing a lot of good things for Vlad. No, my computer did not get corona, guys. All right, trust me. My computer has stayed inside, and the only interaction my computer has had is with me. So I think there's no risk there, and we're good. It's gonna take me a moment. I think I'm gonna hear Neely again in a second, and then you guys can hear him. Get back into the call, and then we'll load up the game. Sorry.
And as I said, make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Twitch.tv/Stout.
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the first thing I heard. That's awesome.
Preparing.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Don't switch. Sorry about that. That was really weird. You could hear me that whole time, right?
I could hear you the whole time, yeah.
Okay. It's a good thing I didn't trash talk you. Let me just load up everything. So, Neely, what point are you at in that game?
44-14.
Okay, so it's actually good that they dropped. Because if they wouldn't have dropped, I'd have to go through the whole game. So we should be able to be back in just a second. I want to bring chat up so I can see the lovely people in the Twitch chat being patient. Type a smiley face if you're being patient, guys. Type a. Oh god, I can hear my own voice. Whew. Yeah, see, patient people, perfect. This might affect the live prize pool because I have to reopen Streamlabs, but I'll have Overlay Guy work on that. That prize pool is going up for every subscription that comes into the stream, and there's been a bunch. Well, I got more donations when I dropped than I did during the last hour. Really, guys? Really? Thank you. Neuroman says, nice drop.
It's like people playing music on the streets, and like, I give you $10 if you stop playing music.
Is that common in Germany? I didn't hear any live music in Hamburg.
Yeah, because I gave $10 to everyone.
Yeah, okay. Indiana AOE said, don't know if you can see this great tournament. Keep it up. Well, thank you, I guess. Alright, let me hop in. We'll be right back in the game, and this will be fine. You said 44 minutes, Nilly?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hello? DE?
Hello. DE? Nearly.
Ah, we're good, cool. Alright, so I'm gonna speed up a little bit. 44 minutes isn't too far away. And do you agree with me, Nilly? I guess you heard what I said. I still think it's gonna be so tough for Vlad to get out of here.
Yeah, I think Alaric, he kind of took the foot off the pedal there.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's only to set himself up for the very late game, right? He has an incredible eco, is getting to all his desired units, and he just knows he has all the map control and probably the better civilization.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to win with the forward castles. You said you're at what, 44?
14.
All right, I'll pause and 3, 2, 1, go. I think that he felt like he was going to win the game because he was so far ahead. And then he realized, okay, well, I actually need to tech switch into everything, and he has gone for everything. Paladin's now on the way. Ring Archer Armor's on the way. Masonry is on the way. Can everyone say saved in the chat? Saved, boys. And now Hussars and crossbows and everything. I would just raid. Raid with the Hussars and then push with some heavy siege and push with some Paladins if I'm in Alaric's shoes.
Yeah, and Vlad is trying to make some quick bolts happen there. Not really going to happen. And now Vlad kind of needs to play Oasis there. And can only attack from the sides and needs to run around.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alaric has all the options simply because he has all the demo control.
I think if it was the other way around, if the Persian player didn't have the sensor, they could win the game by running around the sides because they're a faster civilization. But Vikings are more of a snowball civilization where they have full Arbalest, Pikemen, and Siege in one spot of the map. And if that one spot is going to be on the side, if you put so much of your population there, you will have some real concerns at your base. And we're seeing that now as villagers are getting sniped. Only 97 villagers for Vlad, and it's 143 for Alaric, who also has 2 relics, who also has all the gold he would ever want in the center.
Yeah, and so many goes now through all the angles. Traps attacking at the left-hand side. Right-hand side, there is the attack from Vlad coming, but as we can see, Alaric is now rushing out to the defensive castle, is selecting relic number 3 as well. Yeah,
castles are so important to secure areas of the map and protect yourself. If this was like a chess game, I know next to nothing about chess, but Vlad is making a move here, a defensive piece is placed in front, and then you shift to the other side where there's no protection for the opponent. And with Siege Ram, the Rams are going to take out archer ranges and stables and barracks, and we even have some buildings potentially going to go up for Alaric on the left side because that's one area he's not fully focusing on right now. Seems so tough for Vlad. But how many players would continue to play from this position, Nilly? There's not many.
In a rated game, not many. In this tournament, close to everyone.
That's
it is
a good
just
point.
Too important, right? You want to squeeze that 0.5% winning chance in this tournament.
Yeah. It's a good point. His population is actually deceivingly high, 154. And he does have Siege Rams and he does have Trebs on the right side. And here we go. Persian Paladins isn't enough. to take this death ball out. There are pikes in there. There's a lot of paladins, though.
Yeah, and it felt like that's a fight Vlad needed to take and needed to win, because at the moment it's just, yeah, falling down on so many angles.
Yep.
Going back there just bought Alaric so much time, and he has too much stuff going for himself behind this.
The siege workshop is actually rather nice, because the arbalest can just sit in that choke. Otherwise, all the arbalest would have gone down. But they're still not really moving, and still we have that Treb on the left side for Alaric. I think he is just deleted a few villagers somewhere, or maybe lost some because he needed a bit more pop space. I would like to see him have more paladins, and yeah, here it comes. Crossbows and paladins should clean this up. He's just got to finish off this game.
Yeah, and he will. Like, still full control, right? Paladin production. Look at that stream of units through the center there. So active, so much map control. So many villagers still on gold. Look at his resources behind this.
Yeah, and if you look at the food per minute, it's 1,400 for Alaric. It's also 1,400 gold per minute, and Vlad was way down on every resource. Sorry about the mishap, guys. Sorry about the brief outage. I guess game outage. It wasn't a power outage for you, but Alaric the Goth gets his win on his home map. So, if this series continues this way, Vlad Dracula is going to have something prepared for his home map. And Vlad Dracula has gone for a home map, which is not going to be played very frequently, Nilly. So it is likely he might have something planned here for High Tide.
And High Tide, there are some options. And one of the best options is playing Persians. Now, not an option for Alaric anymore.
It's a good point. The new version of High Tide, I think it's got to be Japanese. If Japanese wasn't used on Cup, and we won't have Cross because Alaric the Goth banned it, and we're not going to have Islands because Vlad Dracula banned it, I think Japanese with the new version is probably the play. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm a little bit frazzled after the drop, to be honest, so I have to get back in my rhythm, but people are hyped, people want more action, and let's hop into game number 4 right now. Still sticking with the same colors. I will have to have a team colors hotkey in the event that Vlad moves on and continues to choose this tomorrow. But Nilly, it's 2-1 for Alaric, and Vlad needs to show something here.
Yeah, absolutely. Back against the wall. So, Japanese mirror. Obviously on this beautiful map, so many names for this. You could think about it as a Pokeball or a hamburger or something, but let's just call it High Tide.
Yeah, so the early version of High Tide was very closed off, and I think, Nilly, you might have been more accustomed to that, because you actually played in the qualifier, you might have seen the map, you might have prepared a little bit. The new version of High Tide I've only seen a few times, and on this map, you see a lot of man-at-arms and water play. Whereas the old version, you could wall. Here, players are pretty close. It's fixed town center positions. You actually have a road that takes you to your opponent's TC. This could be a very quick game for Nilly because it gets out of hand fast.
Yeah, but it plays so much more aggressively. I did play some practice games against some people.
Okay.
And it just felt so aggressive, and the old version was a lot like, okay, losing the water, and then it felt, okay, short distance rushing to Imperial Age.
Yeah.
With this one, with the really tough time to wall up, we've seen a lot of Castle Age aggression.
Yeah, sure. So, there's also relics between the players now, which gives people more opportunity to go for Castle Age aggression. Seeing some gold scattered. I think this is one of the golds for Vlad that's close by. There's gold and stone in the middle, whereas before I think it was just 3 tiles of gold. I expect to see a fine mix of water and land play in this game. Now, is there any reason... Actually, let me back up, Nilly. Do you think there's a meta on this? Or do you think that there's a potential for multiple strategies to work?
Well, the thing is, there might be meta in the respective training camps, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, we didn't see any tournament games, so the max against release games could have gone always the same.
True.
Every doubt against Tattoo game could have been the same, but those two could have been completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. So, one thing that you could do, this is what was coming to mind for me, is you could dock, which I think both players will do, and then you can go feudal, and then you can go for a second, maybe even a third dock, and win water for a fishing ship lead. But if you do that, and one player, instead of going all in on water, builds a barracks and goes man-at-arms and forward, which I recall Velez doing versus Dogao in a show match, you could have a tower on your woodline and gold, you could have man-at-arms slaughtering your villagers, and it could be game over. So, I love how you have been bringing this up constantly along with me. It really depends on the preparation, and in this series, no player has lost a home map yet. So, I think Vlad probably has something prepared.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. It is kind of interesting, right? Because for me, Cup and High Tide are kind of in the same category, right? Very specific, hidden Cup maps, and that both players are picking maps out of the same category.
Yeah.
Surprises me.
I don't know. I feel like on paper it is, but on Cup, the water's between the players, which makes a big difference. And I'd say water might matter a bit more for fishing than it would on Cup, because Cup only has salmon, which is 250 food. On this map, you have more food on the Marlin. So, yes and no. I think with a lot of the hidden Cup maps, if you look at it on paper, you have water and you have land. A lot of hybrid maps. But El Dorado is different than Cross, though there are some similarities. High Tide is very different than Cup. But the coolest thing about High Tide being picked here for me, it's probably the rarest map, because many of the Hidden Cup maps have been seen in Hidden Cup 1 or 2, or I guess specifically Hidden Cup 2, and then a lot of the new Hidden Cup 3 maps were forced set maps in the qualifiers, so people had to play slopes, they had to play ravines, but High Tide was really rare.
Yeah, and again, that shows that a player prepared quite a bit, right?
Yep.
And I love that. And what I also love is this cheeky villager in the center of the map. So Vlad, he wants to build more docks and already preparing the villager there in the center.
Walled the villager in there as well. That's great. Now, Scal came forward, and I was thinking when Vlad was pushing deer, Vlad spent a lot of time pushing deer, that he might want fast food for man-at-arms. Is he going to do both? Because he's building a barracks as well. Water and man-at-arms. That's really difficult to do, but maybe if you had all that food boost from the deer, and you know where your opponent's town center is, you can go for this.
Well, let's see. Well, the militia sends only one villager forward, though. I think he wanted to send all 4 forward, indeed, and they were, like, auto-focusing on the mill there, so he loses some time, but not the worst. Not on stone yet, though.
Okay, so this is what I've seen before, and then this is actually precisely what I said. You have one player not building a barracks. So Alaric is not building a barracks. He's instead going for full water aggression. And then you have another player trying to do a bit of both. And you can't fully wall your base on this map easily because of the water on the left side. This could be so devastating to Alaric's woodline.
And Alaric is doing a mistake.
Yeah?
He is attacking those fishing ships instead of scouting here. Scouting is so important on those maps because there's so many strategies. And against Japanese, it's actually the worst timing.
Yeah.
To go in to rest those fishing ships because they're so tanky.
But Nilly, it's like, it's making me so happy because this is how Hidden Cup should be. Why is that? Because Alaric doesn't have experience on this map. He didn't train this map as one of his home maps, and Alaric is paying the price for that. It's so cool to see preparation in action, and also great adapting from Alaric to at least keep some villagers alive initially. But now what? The villagers are here. The man-at-arms are here.
What a ballsy tower there in between everything. I think Alaric, it isn't the worst idea to just pull 15 villagers and try to force it down. Yeah, you will lose 4, but then you give yourself a fighting chance to win water.
Yeah.
And you stop this aggression.
Well, the water will be important if... Oh, this is so hectic. It's a good thing Japanese have cheap lumber camps and mining camps because Alaric's going to need more of them. He goes to stone. He has villagers behind here. He is towering here. Everything's falling apart for Alaric.
Oh boy, and quick walls now next to the tower. Good job there. Alaric survives for now.
Uh-oh.
Villagers.
Uh-oh. He could lose a villager or 2 before this tower actually goes up. Oh!
I think he might jump in there.
Lost 1.
Oh, lost 1.
Yep. Lost 1, now has the tower fire, and it's a good decision to fight with Vills while you have the tower fire. This is all falling apart. This is so hectic. In the middle, you have Vlad losing that villager where he is docked, and also Vlad has lost his fishing ships nearly. So economically speaking, Alaric is actually ahead. But who even knows if that's going to be the case if his villagers die to the man-at-arms that are still very much a threat. My goodness, what a game.
Now at the left-hand side, we have those 4 villagers, and they're up to no good. Now he is tower rushing his own stone.
Well, Vlad didn't go to stone at home. He thought that he could just go stone forward, and Alaric is going to deny that. That's something else. And now you have repairs for Alaric. This is so high level. The villager has walked out into the sea so that he could repair. But then you also have the micro from Vlad, so he doesn't lose the weak fire galley to the scout, and he will kill the scout. Holy cow, it's like these guys have upped their level over the last couple minutes. This is ridiculous game.
Oh god, such nice moves here. Villager tries to go for the repair. We didn't see any demos yet, and that's so good for Vlad. And yeah, Alaric, he just had to do so much at home that his ego really suffered.
Now you have a trap from kind of.
We have 3 gates!
But now there's still a hole there, and so it's like they've made a little pit for the boxing match, but if men-at-arms show up to the boxing match, you do not want to be fighting this with villagers. What just happened there? This is such a sloppy game, man. I encourage the viewers at home to pay attention to the amount on food, because at the moment, Alaric, he's losing all of his extra fishing ships. He thought he had won water, and there's still going to be towers going up. Oh, what a game, Nilly. I love this new version of the map. It's so aggressive.
Yeah. And not allowing the wall behind there really hurt poor Alaric here. And, well, villagers are being sent away from the stone.
Yep.
That means Vlad thinks better of it and wants to build an even more aggressive tower. And Alaric, yeah, walling your villagers won't really help you against the tower.
Yeah, and then he has to build a new lumber camp. I also think it was a mistake for Alaric to farm on that. Well, he doesn't know where to farm. If he farms on the right, that could get towered. He's already been towered on the left, I suppose. Losing the fishing ships was huge. I think that Alaric maybe misjudged it, and he's got to get back on water. That's probably the safest way to go for resources. A counter tower now for Alaric. That is the only tower that he can place now. He only has 67 stone remaining. There will be no more towers for him.
That's so good for Vlad, right? Because that tower is actually not protecting anything.
Yeah.
It's only to counter the tower of Vlad at the moment. So if he just accepts the losses, runs away,
yep,
and yeah, then he can continue towering.
Unless he walls it in. Unless he walls it in. If those villagers go down, if I wall it in, Alaric, quickly. Wall. Oh, there we go. Okay, the villagers make it out. Can he snipe a vill? Close. But it is 41 eco for Vlad. It is 35 for Alaric. And now we have archers for Vlad. We haven't looked at his base at all in Feudal Age. And he's been safe, and he's been secure. His eco's been good, and now he has a follow-up. I think we might be going to Game 5 for the first time in the round of 16. Because the way this is looking, Vlad had a game plan, and it just cannot be stopped right now. Unreal.
Alaric, he has 4 idle villagers this whole time at the left-hand side as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so ugly. And remember, like, it feels like ages ago, but they had this very wild Mayan swarm in Arabia as well.
Yeah, these guys... It's so hard to guess who these players are, because each and every game, one player seems better. That's what's so funny to me, and it's all because of the preparation, which is so cool. Alaric will get some stone, though, so he can build more towers, but it's 15 on food, 16 on food for Vlad, and it's just 7 for Alaric. So, in this situation, Nilly, do you sit back at home and try and stabilize your food economy if you're Vlad? Or sorry, if you're Alaric? Or do you try and find some way to be aggressive?
In Feudal Age, you can't get aggressive, right? You don't even have an archer range yet, and, well, you will get your answer.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this game's GG in my head, but I couldn't say that in front of 20,000 people. We're going to a Game 5 between Vlad Dracula and Alaric the Goth. This is the first Game 5 in Round 1. All the people who are having issues with the colors are rejoicing that we get another game, I'm sure. Let's go back to the main menu, and let's talk about this final map, because this is Alaric's home map. However, I think Hideout, there's going to be no surprises. I think with Hideout currently being in the ranked map queue, it's not as if Vlad Dracula isn't going to know how to play this. Would you agree with that?
Let's take a look at the bands again. What do we have? Aztecs and Britain's bands. Honestly, this will shift
To
title
Alaric.
quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, so let's think about good civs. Before we even talk about bands, Aztecs are good. Khmer is good. Britons are good. Mayans are good. Is there a fifth civ that comes to mind for this for you?
I don't like Persians.
Persians, maybe, yeah.
Spanish.
Okay, Persian, Spanish. All right, so Vlad Dracula, they both can't use Mayans because they went Mayans game 1. There's no Aztecs because that's globally banned. There's no Britons because that's globally banned. And then there's no Khmer for Vlad because he used it on Gold Rush. And I think that's the one that stands out to me. If Alaric goes Khmer, what does Vlad go for?
He could go Persians, right?
He did not go Persians. That's correct, because he went Vikings. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Persians and Khmer, because on this map, guys, it's a lot about economy. I think that might be the play. Some people are saying Burmese, Saracens. I think if it's Tato, he goes Saracens. But I think it can also be very risky. We got to go. Like, we're talking, if you make it into the quarterfinals and lose, I think you get $1,000 more. There's $1,000
$1.2 or something.
Oh,
right?
is it 1.2?
800 to 2K or something to jump.
So it's 800 if you lose round 1. It might be, I think it's 13 or 1400 nearly for. So I guess maybe not 1,000, but almost doubling your prize pool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if our speculation was correct. Going to game number 5. I'm expecting Khmer. Khmer makes a whole lot of sense. And here we are, game number 5. And it's a Spanish war! It's a Spanish war! What? I was not expecting this. Both players felt like Spanish was the play? Okay. Well, hey, the series has been neck and neck, sorry. It's been incredibly close. What better way to see who's the better player than a mirror matchup where you have the same options and the same strategy choices available?
Oh god, yeah. And this could be a very long game, honestly. Distance, extremely long.
Yeah.
Vlad, super tight opening there. If he gets a castle up, he can go imp.
Yeah, you can't pressure him. You could say the same if Alaric the Goth builds a castle right where his gate is. All of his golds are protected. I think it's only fitting. How good these players have been, it's only fitting that this goes to game 5. And it all comes down to a mirror matchup. So are you thinking conquistadors? Is there any option but conquistadors in a Spanish war, Nilly?
If I'm Vlad, I will probably just go full boom, maybe some monks.
Okay.
If we take a look at the relics, though.
4 relics closer to Alaric, yep. If it's a long game, that would be helpful. I mean, if Vlad takes a little bit of map control, it's 3-2, because there's that one on the right. Okay, so Neely, let me ask you this. Let's say you're in either player's shoes. No, not either player. You are in Alaric's shoes.
Yeah.
And you have the civilizations that Alaric has available. Do you pick Spanish, or do you pick another civ? I would pick Khmer. I'm surprised. Most pro players have been picking Khmer. I can see why you would pick Spanish if you don't have Khmer or Persians or something.
Like, I'm a fan of something completely different, right? I'm a guy who plays Slavs or Celts there.
But not Spanish.
Not Spanish, no.
So what does that tell us about the players? Both players went for Spanish. It's actually, that's one of the more surprising civ matchups, if you think about it. Spanish war.
Yeah, like, it's like, you asked me in my shoes, right? I'm not that big of a Spanish fan. There are a lot of players that still feel like conquistadors are so strong.
Yeah.
I personally think they got nerfed heavily.
They did.
With changing their armor class, now being extremely weak to skirmishes.
All right, so when we talk about potential players, because this has been one of the harder sets to figure out, there's a certain dragon that comes to mind, and I know he loves Spanish. I know if Vivi had an option to pick Spanish on Hideout, he would probably do it, but
I think he did yesterday.
yeah, I got bigger Vivi vibes yesterday. 99% castle. Yeah, I got bigger Vivi vibes yesterday when another player, Charlemagne, chose Spanish. I'm baffled. I see Twitch chat guessing who they think is playing here. I just don't know. But it's...
I could still live with Doubt versus Yo.
Doubt versus
I could
Yo.
live with... It's so tough to call.
It's so
the thing
difficult.
is, like, since game 1 and 4 were so unstandard.
Yeah.
Like, we can't compare that with a lot of, like, standards. Okay, I will go Man-at-Arm into Archer into whatever I normally do.
I think Vlad is Doubt. This deer is trolling the crap out of him. He can't get this deer in. Let's see. It says keeps running away. Oh man, he got housed because of it too. Oh man, all because of the deer.
Yeah.
I think he's got it now. Okay. Get it? Perfect. Never a doubt. Alright, this is interesting. Okay, so deer pushes, on average, over 6,000 matches. Max has pushed more. This is surprising. Now, this does not mean that the players are maxed out, Tato or Viper. These are just stats including players in this event. Max has pushed way more deer on average. Because, well, probably he's a boomer. Number 1, Nilly, he's at 2.5 deer on average per game. That's pretty crazy.
2.5 deer per game?
On average, yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and consider that a lot of these statistics came from when players were playing Arabia. Like that's a lot. But okay, it's expected here.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, so deer gives you extra food.
Maybe Ravines comes in as well.
Yeah.
But he didn't play any Ravines, right?
Yeah, so the stats, just to talk about it briefly, unfortunately, we weren't able to compile a ton of DE games because there's no player profiles on DE. Thanks, DE. So a lot of these statistics are taken from thousands and thousands of games that players played prior to November, which still carries weight in a lot of ways, but for example, with deer pushing there, it's actually more surprising that Max would have had that many deer pushed because most of those statistics would have come from 1v1 Arabia, which is more aggressive than something like Hideout.
Yeah, but I can tell you why. Because the Max, we rarely see him play rated games, right? Because he always does those hidden.
True.
And he plays more tournament games. And Hidden Cup Arabia, Hidden Cup 2 Arabia, had those deer basically spawning under the TC.
Yep. Yeah, so we have statistics. We kind of go all over the place, but when it says 6,000 matches, obviously there hasn't been... It's tough to do just Hidden Cup because some players... I was trying to get doubt statistics, like good doubt statistics for Hidden Cup 3, but he lost in round 1, and one stat which is kind of interesting is that he didn't place a forward castle. Well, it's because MBL slaughtered him, and he didn't leave his base. So some statistics just don't, they're just that. It doesn't really mean that much. And I'm picking on doubt here. It's the same with Tato, actually. Tato... It was more competitive, but Tato lost round 1 in each Hidden Cup. So what am I supposed to do? Like use 6 games? It's kind of tough.
Yeah,
but it's fun stuff to look at those stats and try and see. Some of them are surprising, like Viper having 6.5 doubt castles. Placing a doubt castle in 6.5 out of 100 games. That's a lot.
Yeah. How do you define doubt castle in that case?
I think it was castles that were denied at 95% or above.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was. Though it didn't have the specifics on the sheet. I spoke to the Capture Age team, if you haven't already realized, made this awesome Hidden Cup 3 overlay. We've been working together for a while on this, and they also worked on the stats there. Yeah, this is Fast Castle Nilly. This, you're right. If they're doing the same thing and they're this far apart, could be a very, very long game.
Yeah, it's like both are building defensive castles, some Kongs, there will be some dancing.
All right.
Like, this will go very even, very long. There are no major hills. Some fighting at the bottom for extra gold, some fighting at the right-hand side for relics.
Yeah.
Some dance here with the scouts, but I don't think anyone will come.
But who's going to win the scout war? Because when there's monks...
At the moment, Alaric, but Vlad just needs to run. What is Vlad doing?
That's pretty Vlad, if you ask me.
Pretty doubt, if you ask me.
He's got to get back to his base. Will Alaric come in here? No, he won't. All right, so that will probably be healed up. And the castle time is faster for Alaric. This is what it comes down to. You're splitting hairs with mirror matchups. This actually reminds me of a lot of classic Rex, because when I first started casting, I downloaded a lot of recorded games, and it was so cool to see players play a mirror matchup and just try and best each other with small, specific little details.
Oh, and let's talk about details. Look at those 2 new farms Vlad just built at his mill.
Yeah?
The bottom farm, 240 food. No, the top farm, 240. The bottom, 160.
He built that before
so
horse color.
And just built both of them.
Oh.
Someone like Hera and Viper are taking care about those things.
I think.
Hey, look, okay, horse color, 20%. Only then I built the farm.
I mean, as much as Hera and Viper are amazing, I feel like most pros. I mean, I'm a pleb caster, man. I'm way worse than these guys. I pay attention to those things. Even the guy who's memed about farms pays attention to those things. So I think, you know, they played very long games. Probably just a bit of exhaustion there. And just not paying attention to a small detail. But those things add up. I'm looking at the scouting now. Vlad's scout, fortunately, is alive. And he's looking for extra relics and extra gold piles. I like Alaric's play a bit better so far. And he's doing everything you would expect. Going for a castle, going for a monastery so you can get relics and convert conquistadors, and then it's all about the boom nilly.
Yeah, it will be a super passive game. I think Alaric should simply get more relics. Vlad didn't wait for the heal there. And... Ooh, Rocco just flying in with another 20. And Vlad didn't see a single relic on the other side. Only saw the one close to his base.
Yeah, now he'll spot this one. If he sees this other one that's between them, I think that's pretty big. It's pretty... I'm surprised he's moved out with this scout before healing it. Because it could be risky. He is... Oh, he's going for the town centers instead of going for the monastery. So Alaric is a bit closer to some of the relics. He is going for the relics. So he'll probably fall slightly behind in villagers because he's not going for the town center approach. But if this goes super late, relics probably the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we just get 3v2, that's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
We have guilds. We will have massive economies behind this.
Yeah.
It only gets tricky if we get the 4v1 situation.
That's
Alaric,
true.
He should start fighting for the one at the top.
Yeah, Alaric, he sees it, and, you know, you have to give this one up. This is close to Vlad. That's not going to happen, but you definitely fight for this one. Now, just double check if Vlad... Okay, he's added the monastery now. He does see it as well, so this will be pretty close, Nilly. I think that we might be talking about this relic 20 minutes from now.
4 Kongs on the side of Alaric. 3 Kongs only here for Vlad. And Alaric instantly sees it, loses his scout.
Okay, so scouts can be very important for monks, but it's more about conquistador numbers. You can't lose conks, they're so expensive. It's 4-2 now. Maybe the slightly faster castle time was better for Alaric, and you see the monk is on the way.
And Kongs are so inaccurate, and all 4 hit the one Kong running away there. That was so unfortunate for Vlad. Now loses the scout behind this one as well.
Ooh. Nice micro from Vlad, though. He realized which one was weakened by the castle and got the snipe. So I think it was... They traded a conk there, but I don't think it was about the fight as much as the space and the time. Alaric is now on his way back. Neely, do you mind... I don't try and do this too frequently when I have co-casters, but... do you mind?
Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe.
No, I didn't mean for you to say those things. I just wanted to thank Krako for gifting 20 subs, and Ferup and MP Rain and Warsim and Quatox and Red Bull Yoshi for the Twitch primes. Oh boy. I thought there wouldn't be action! And again, the conks! Sniping a monk, sniping another conquistador. Alaric, he seems like the more aggressive player here, Nilly.
Yeah, and Vlad, that's just sloppy play by him, honestly. He could be so much closer to the castle, shouldn't have any losses. 4-2 KD. Alaric, he isn't investing too much, right? He is playing the 3 TCs behind this as well. Vlad, he had the 3 TCs earlier, yes, but quote-unquote only a 5 villager advantage.
But what I like about the approach from Alaric is he might be down 5 or 6 villagers, but he recognizes what we recognize. This game is going to go late. So if this game is going to go late, you need to take some map control, get the relics to prepare for late game. And in the grand scheme of things, maybe Vlad will have a slightly faster Imperial Age time. But if you stonewall the left, which Alaric is doing, you get the relics, which he's working on. He currently has 2, and will snag 3 and possibly 4 if he sees the one in the south. Another pickoff. Another pickoff. This is incredible micro from Alaric. I do think he needs to be a bit careful because of the monks, but... home maps, man. Home maps.
Feels like it. And, you know, also what pushes me more into the Alaric direction.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Alaric just won the last one, right? It's Vlad's home map.
Alaric won... I thought Vlad won the previous one, right?
Yeah, he was purple, exactly. Yeah. So Alaric is still my Mr. Yo pick, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? His normal home map is Registered Fortress. And Hideout is kind of the map that comes closest to it.
And the Chinese love Spanish. I feel like it's not necessarily like this, but most of the high-level European players feel like Spanish are much weaker now ever since the armor class was changed. They would go for something that has elite skirm and good eco. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but Alaric is taking this very seriously. Stonewall the left, getting the relics, and also not hesitating at all with the micro. Gotta be careful with those monks, though. The woodline's gonna be interesting to talk about, because the players are chopping towards each other. So we'll probably see a tower there at some point.
Maybe some traps, honestly. We could later see a surprise attack there. It's only 3 trees thick anymore.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the extra golds, but I can't because they're being so active with the conks. Oh, missionaries! Missionary! Oh, it's beautiful! I was not expecting to see a missionary here.
What dress is he wearing? I've never seen that before.
Run away, dude! Run away! The thing is, missionary's good for healing, but it's not as good as a monk with converting. Yeah, that's an outfit right there, man. He needs to put some sunblock on. It's getting warm out there. He's gonna get sunburned. Jeez, that might have been a bit insensitive. Sorry. I didn't realize it could be insensitive when I said it, but more conks. I think missionary's good for healing, but conversion's probably the more important thing here. 15 conquistadors against 12, well, now 11. And then 2 monks versus 1 missionary.
Okay, relic number 4 now coming in. Vlad still with 0 for now. Vlad 7 villages ahead, went for TC number 4. Now we see some upgrades for our units. +1 defense here for Alaric, and Vlad is flying in with bloodlines.
Also the hill, too. I think Alaric will just commit to this. He loses 1 conquistador, but he still has his missionary alive, and he still has more numbers, and I think Alaric will be feeling very good. This is where you have to play safe, and I think Vlad's just a little bit later to the decision-making. I'm looking at it now. He wants to build an outpost next to this gold. It's already been walled off. He doesn't realize that. And he will know that he doesn't have any relics at this point, which means that if there's 1 on the map, his opponent probably has 4. And you mentioned it, Nearly. If it's 3-2, that happens. It's not a big deal. But 4-1 can be pretty... That can swing a game, for sure. That's a lot of gold income from relics.
Yeah, then you kind of need to overboom, sell some. He's trying to find another relic now at the top, send some conquistadors, just praying, okay,
yeah,
maybe RNG wasn't my favor and I can still get to. And yeah, just goes full conks there at the top, and Alaric is taking the hill. That might be just conk v conk on one front.
Yeah, do you tech switch is my question. I feel like maybe a switch into Conquistador Elite Skirm could make sense, because Elite Skirms are so good against Conquistadors, and they're both going to have them. I just love the safe play from Alaric. Game 5, deciding game to move on to the quarterfinals. Up against a good opponent. He has not messed around here, and he has the lead right now.
Oh, but is he doing the safe play? Moves in, gets another kill, and yeah, it's really good there with the movement.
Does he have ballistics on his conquistadors? Like, on DE, I've been using conquistadors, and I have not been getting shots off like this.
Well, you need big groups, right? And then some straight shots are hitting eventually. Now sends more villagers forward. Alaric, we said like the safe play, very defensive here.
Yeah.
But he goes for some more aggression. Aggressive university and double archery range.
Yeah, I think he wants chemistry, ballistics. He's adding fletching now. So I think we are going to see skirmishers mixed in with the conquistadors. I'm loving the meta play. You've got to play meta. You've got to play strong. You've got to play clean. Both players dancing. And for Vlad, I think he's really hoping he can out-micro Alaric because he knows the relic situation. Now, relics, it's just a slow trickle of gold. There's so much gold on this map, so this game is going to go on for a while regardless, but I'd say maybe past the 50, 55 minute mark is when that really starts to matter.
Yeah, especially like, why isn't he picking up the 5th one? It's not 4-1. At the moment, the advantage isn't 3, it's actually 4.
Yeah.
That's super honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess right now it might be more useful that he use his monks to heal and convert. What's he gonna do here, Vlad? Is it just conks? It looks like it's just conquistadors.
Yeah, he will go for Inquisition monks as well for the conversion.
No one expects it.
Already go. Yeah, indeed.
Okay, so he sees the range, and now he knows that it's going to be Skirm Edition. And he's probably thinking, well, shoot, I should do that as well. Whoa, look at the wood line here. That would have been funny. Alaric almost converted that one conquistador on the other side.
Oh, a bit the calm before the storm. We see... Oh, horsey upgrades for Vlad. So he will check into hussars.
Okay.
While Alaric most likely skirmishes.
Whoa, the conversions really worked there. That's what the Inquisition upgrade does for you. Faster conversions. And were the forward archer ranges really that necessary, Alaric? Or is this a bit of overextending?
Well, I thought he felt like he had more control there. Obviously took some good fights there, had more kills, and knew he had more army control, or map control, because he had more army.
Yeah.
And while he now loses to archer range, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, there's plenty of wood. He's chopping the wood here. And you could tower this. You definitely do not want to build a castle here, though, because it's just going to be trebbed down from the other side of the wood line. You can't do anything about it. Oh, what a fight here, Nilly. What a fight. Oh, the conks have the same upgrades. There's skirmishers in here. It's 25 conks for 17. The elite skirms, they don't cost golds. It's actually a pretty close fight.
Yeah, the mangonel shot at the front really helped out there, killing 5 skirmishers. That was a good start for Mr. Vlad. And score is to even population.
Wow.
Quite a solid lead, though, for Vlad here. 20 more villagers. Impressive boom.
He spent less time building buildings to tech switch and more time booming. Yeah, I think he also added a 4th town center if I look back. It's booming like a madman. Also has a castle on the left, so be careful. He might break through Alaric and get to that extra gold, which would make all the difference in the world. He apparently doesn't care about relics. Like, it's probably Leary. Leary, he hasn't played like Leary, but it'd be very much like Leary to just not get relics. It pisses me off.
Quite some idols now. Elite Conquistador now on the way for Vlad. Something we can't see from Alaric yet, who goes for more skirmishes. So many castles on this one spot.
Wow, I actually get nervous. I don't know about you, Neely, but in this situation, I get nervous for players because so much is on the line. We don't know the identities, but I know it means a lot to them. And this series has been so close. The first best of 5 in the round of 16 to go to the 5th game, and they've gone for the same civilization, same strategy. But how much will the skirmishers matter here? I think they'll matter huge amounts. They both will have elite conquistador. The trebs will go down for Vlad. That's an expensive loss.
Uh-oh, and only 2 light cav there coming in, kind of the counter to these skirmishers, but lacking some defense upgrades as well. And now the conquistadors need to run back. Alaric, he just needs to add some siege, and then he can push this one quite nicely.
Yeah, I love the missionary healing. I've never seen that before. I love the missionary healing. I'm almost biased towards Alaric just because of that. It's like something that pro players could possibly do a little bit more. It's such... I mean, he definitely is getting style points, let's put it that way. And now some siege behind it, Nilly. Now, maybe you wait for a few more trebs in a situation where you are not sure you're going to win the fight, but it looks to me like Skirmisher Conquistador is way better than Hussar Conk for now.
If you get the good eco and you get like 30 Hussars in addition there as well, then I think Hussar is the better army composition, but Vlad didn't get to that, right? He did send in like 6 light cav. That's not too scary.
Well, I mean, he does have some more stables around. He has 44 on food, which is the same amount as Alaric, so I think the concern I have with Hussars is the fact that Conquistadors chew them up, but the beauty of having Hussars in front of your Conquistadors is that your Conquistadors are completely untouched. So you have that melee ranged combo, which you see in so many high-level army compositions. It's 180 population for both. There's about to be a huge fight here.
Yeah, and Vlad, he keeps some units in his siege workshops and stables. Now the good time to ungarrison. No, things bad of it. Skirm's kind of in the front. Maybe Alaric should even think about adding halberdiers.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a halb switch, but for now I think you have to get max pop, then start making buildings for a potential switch. And here comes the fight. The patrol's coming in for Vlad. Now, there's not that many Hussars in front of his Conquistadors. He has to deal with the Rams first, but here come the Hussars, and the skirmishers haven't fired that many shots. There's a real possibility that Vlad could hold this, especially with capped Rams coming in, Nilly.
Oh yeah, that's so good, and they are just soaking so much damage with the skirmishes here. Conquistadors of Alaric trying to do some damage there. They have extra damage against the Rams, but now kind of outnumbered, and the meat shield in front is lost. There was gold efficient still for Alaric, but both keeping high numbers of Conquistadors. We are far, far away from the end of this.
Yeah, we said it would be close, man. And you know these guys are going to fight down to the villager because of the situation they're in. Tons of time into preparing for both these players too. It's not like two players who are just playing the normal civilizations and normal maps. They both prepared probably weeks of strategies. Probably had a practice partner. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they're from, so we can only speculate. But the army compositions are different. It's Hussar and Conk against Conquistador and Skirm. It seems like there are more Conquistadors, though, for Blue. He has 51 Conquistadors, and there's only 30 Conquistadors for Vlad. So now he's got to be careful with his siege.
Now some tech advancements here. We see Alaric, he is going for bombard cannons, goes for some Hussar tech as well. Both players actually attacking into siege rams at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we saw what capped rams did. They were fantastic meat shields. Both players so hesitant.
Look at Vlad's monastery. The second monastery at the left-hand side.
Vlad's monastery. Oh, my hotkeys aren't working. Wait, what? Vlad's monastery. Oh, wrong person. Wait, what? What is it, Neely? Just tell me. Which? Oh, no! He doesn't have that. Well, they're fighting now. He'll have a little bit less gold, but he's going to need that relic. Oh, man. Well, let's see. He apparently doesn't like to collect relics, but he likes to collect victories in these fights because the fight seems better for him.
Now Skirms, obviously, as we said, not the best option. The Hussar tech for Alaric behind this, not the greatest thing. Rams are now moving forward. Behind this, 4 traps starting to shoot, and only 1 trap for the defense here. I like Vlad's position, but now the Ram counter go by Alaric.
Yeah, but Alaric has bombard cannons there, and the traps have come forward, and 2 traps have already gone down. I think the difference there was pure Conquistador numbers. It's still 50 for Alaric, and it's only 30s for Vlad. Did he get the relic yet? Oh, boy. That's
something you won't realize till the end of the game, honestly.
Yeah, because you won't notice it.
That's only something you see by accident.
Yeah. Well.
And now the big question. Who would benefit from a go through the center the most?
Definitely Vlad. Vlad's got to be thinking, oh, he's getting Onager right now, Nilly. You are so good. Congratulations. Onager cut through the center, and then Hussar raid has got to be the play, because if you don't have the relics, and you don't have the gold banked up long term, it's going to be a nightmare for you. Not to mention he's currently losing on the front, but is he even going to have time for it, Nilly?
You need to have like spare population over there, but it seems like Alaric is pushing too much through the center there. Big ram goal, just hugging each other in the center there. That is always such an even trade. Some skirmishes mixed in. Oh, this is so random.
Honestly, there's more rams for Vlad, but there's more Conquistadors for Alaric, and Conquistadors do pretty solid damage. Also, great micro from Alaric, recognizing that the siege rams are a threat, and he's just been focusing the conks behind it. And now not so good micro for Vlad, because your rams need to be in front! There it is.
Uh-oh, they go through the center!
The hussars are in! If I had Sabaton on a soundboard right now, I would play it for you all. I don't. And wow, it's a panic barracks. He's going to go full Halb switch now. This could really hurt Alaric. Could distract him. I think it's the main thing, right?
Vlad behind this without getting raided. 30 idols now for quite some time. So he's basically playing with Pop 170 against 200. Big fight through the center. Rams lacking for Alaric. This is still so close.
Yeah, now I love the supremacy upgrade for Alaric. It was immediate supremacy upgrade that gives Spanish villagers more HP. So it's extremely hard to raid the Spanish. And the amount of fortifications that Alaric has on this right side makes me think that Vlad almost needs to hold the right side and somehow do considerable damage in the center. Because right after that attack came in, it stopped, and now we'll see some stone walls and some Spanish archers. What? What? Spanish is one of the few civs in the game that doesn't get crossbow. Why are there archers here? That is... I don't understand.
Maybe the same hotkey as the pikeman, I don't know either. And he isn't splitting off some of his hussars to go for the counter attack. We have the pikeman tech now for Vlad as well. And something really great by Alaric. He got the big raid in, and like 2 seconds after the hussars died, he was back to 0 idle villagers.
Yeah, he's been keeping track of those idols. In fact, I'm going to switch now to show you the... Well, no, I can't. We have to talk about the fight. I was going to switch to show you the food per minute. This is just incredible. It's 49 conks for Alaric. He's always had slightly higher conk numbers. It's just 40 for Vlad. And now we have more rams in front for Alaric as well. Here, I'll switch to that at the bottom left if you want to see the resources per minute.
And looking at the bottom left on the mini-map, there's another card as well. More hussars diving in there.
Okay, don't pay attention to that. I don't think those statistics are accurate. Unless Alaric is spending resources so fast, he's somehow in the negative. But this is what Vlad can do. He's also sending villagers. And he's going to stonewall further. I mean, there's gold there, Nilly. This is possible for Vlad.
What? Why was there gold?
He should have taken it. He didn't take it. And also that stonewall was not really protecting it from any conks either. Forward town center from Vlad. He just wants to have villagers here at all times. I love it. Wow.
Oh, man. Okay, and now the big conk go again. Rams numbers are pretty low on both sides. Attacking the castle. No masonry there. And the castle dies.
The castle dies. Alaric is distracted now. Keep in mind, a lot of his reinforcements might not arrive to the main attack. He might be trying to deal with the raid coming in from Vlad. Still, though, I just look at conk numbers, and every time Alaric is about to take a bad fight, he backs up. He has a lot more value with his army. He has over 9,000 value and just 7,000 for Vlad. I guess he will clean this up too, Nilly, but he really should fortify that more so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, right? Then you can always onager cut again behind this. You basically have to accept that this is a complete open game now. Maybe even consider tagging to onagers yourself. By the way, update on the relics 4-1 now.
Yeah, 4-1. Did he get it? Nice. Okay, so we got that. I'd like to see some buildings from blue. If this was a 250 population game, this would be a lot different. But competitive AoE 2 has always played at 200. Sorry, Black Forest players. And because of that, it's about population prioritization. Where do you have your population? At the moment, Vlad wants to make a run through the middle, or he's thinking about it. Alaric is going to wall behind so that doesn't happen. And now Alaric, realizing the population there, is making a push to all these buildings. I think Vlad's just trying to change the angle, Nilly. He knows how difficult this is going to be for him. So he's trying to find a way to push Alaric back.
That's how. Now Hussars at the front. He still has enough stables. But Hussars, a lot of them now patrolling in. Not the greatest fight. Bugging out a bit there. I keep liking the fights for Alaric a bit more.
The difference for me is, that, well, obviously the relics and the additional gold spot now. But the second he is in a bad position, he runs back. And if this continues to happen and you have more gold, then you should eventually win out. Like here, Vlad, I think he needs to get all of his conquistadors further back. maybe just a little bit late to the decision sometimes. And now we have some counter raiding from Alaric, sending some hussars in to raid some villagers, and maybe this is the start of the end for Vlad. He can't find a way through Alaric the Goth.
Oh man, Alaric is just so incredibly good in those late game scenarios apparently. But now lots of rams
That's a
here,
lot.
queued up for Vlad.
That's 10 rams. But you're also looking at 30 conks versus 43. A theme here. And I think, you see how Blue is just running past the rams? He's focus firing down the conks, and then he sends hussars in against the rams. So meat shield only works when players patrol. This is perfect play from Alaric.
Onager getting sniped as well. Trap exposed, dies. Oh god, Alaric, such a great micro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the late game prioritization from Alaric, how he has played this, I'm getting Mr. Yo vibes. Mr. Yo has performed really well in Hidden Cups, and he actually took out Tato in Hidden Cup 2 in a best of 5. So he's a giant killer, and Vlad could very well be another giant. Hard to say, but both players have played so well today. It looks inevitable now with the way Alaric is microing these conquistadors. And the GG is called. 57-minute game. Both players went for Spanish. This whole series went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Alaric won game 1. Vlad won game 2. Alaric won game 3. Vlad won game 4. Alaric finished it off in game 5. What a series, Nilly.
Oh man, incredible. And those were so even. Both clearly top 16 players in the world here, and great performances. Honestly, pretty unfortunate for Vlad facing Alaric here. I think Vlad could have beaten a lot of players.
Yeah. Well, it happens. Just ask Nikov. Nikov Nikov beat Tato in round 1 of Hidden Cup 1, then faced the Viper and lost. Then the hidden seeding gave Nikov the Viper in round 1 in Hidden Cup 2. We don't know where Nikov is, but Nikov is probably very well aware that the hidden seeding can sometimes bring some big upsets in round 1. That could have been Viper and Hera for all we know, guys. Looked exactly like them. Sarcasm, of course. I don't think it was them, but it's now down to the audience to vote on who you think these players are. I don't know. And you know what? And I'm not going to give any input. Before we get to the poll system, though, I will show you the achievements. Here you have it. 346 kills. Nearly, I think it wasn't even about the relics. I think the relics didn't pay off that much. Alaric just seemed to get more conquistadors.
Yeah, but because he had way more gold.
Yeah, I don't...
3.9k more gold,
So this is the problem. I started to say that, and then I clicked to the gold. Okay. So I was like, I was thinking, he's only going to have 1,000 more gold. And then I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. There's 4,000 more gold. Yeah. Conquistadors cost gold. That would make sense. But,
like 70 conks or something?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty much the difference between the relics. But in early Castle Age, Alaric was... He was 40 seconds faster to Castle Age. He had engagement on the Scout in early Castle Age. And he also got 2 Conquistador pickoffs in early Castle Age. And that was protecting that one area with the relic. Vlad didn't seem to prioritize relics much at all. It took him forever to even get one. Okay. The poll scene's going to come up. You guys can vote on who you think Vlad Dracula was. We know he was a good player. Who was he? Go ahead and vote. 1 through 16, whatever number you think, you can type that in the chat now. You have 55 seconds. And then after this, we'll do the vote for the winner, who will move on. I'm satisfied with that series. I don't think that could have gotten much better. The players were so prepared, and then it ended on a mirror matchup, just like it began.
Yeah, it was a truly great series. Game number 1 was so scrappy. Then we had the wild high-tide game as well. Not the greatest reactions there. And, well, the very strategic, very interesting game. Honestly, I would love... If the players are going through, maybe we can get some interviews at some point, how they viewed that Gold Rush game.
Oh, yeah. That's the big standout to me. Why did Vlad choose... Wait, no, that was Alaric who went Vikings.
Yes.
Okay, that still stands out to me. I did not understand that, but maybe he was expecting a different civ. Wow, people think Doubt could have been Vlad Dracula. It's not too unlikely. We had prepared strategies. It was solid overall play. Vivi is a solid pick now as well, number 2, and then Dogao also could be likely. All right, and what about Alaric? Who do we think went through? We'll have a poll pop up here. I guess if you have any stream delay whatsoever, you might still think you're voting for the other player. But again, 1 through 16. The funny thing is, this could be Doubt as well. I like the Mr. Yo guess a lot because of the strategies and the choice to pick Spanish. So hard to say.
Yeah, I don't see Doubt there. There was no Force TC in the hideout game.
I think it's more likely that Vlad. I think it's more likely that Vlad would be Doubt than Alaric. Yeah. But we're splitting hairs. The players are all so good, so many similar styles.
Yeah, and like in the end, it was Lan against Nikov, and we were like, okay.
yeah, it could very well be that. 2 strong players. Yo gets 35% of the votes. Doubt gets 26% of the votes, and Leary gets 7% of the votes in 3rd place. That's a bit of a surprise, but he was well behind in 3rd. Could have been. Could have been. Nilly, what a great set of games, man. I think to have you here for a best of 5 that goes to 5 games could not be more fitting. Thank you for joining for Hidden Cup yet again. What are your thoughts as we go in? I'm going to have 2 more best of 5s coming up. How has the round of 16 been so far in Hidden Cup 3?
Well, as I said, for me, it's like super exciting to see like well-prepared people, right? And that's like one of the most beautiful things in Age of Empires. Like people really preparing, coming up with strategies, trading behind closed doors. And that is just so lovely. And the beauty is like, even if you advance in round 1, you can use the same strategy in round 2 again, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not shown. And then like the best strategies kind of continue to clash against each other.
That's Hidden Cup. That's Hidden Cup. I think this series of all the best of 5 showed us what preparation does. I'm really excited to see Alaric try some of those civ picks and strategies in rounds number 2. Nilly, chat is saluting you right now. Thanks for joining, man, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend.
Thanks. And you too. And guys, everyone, make sure to tune in Sunday evening. Well, yeah, we are trying to write Age of Empires history, right?
Yeah.
There is like rumors that we could maybe break the 50K mark there. And obviously a lot of eyes on those big tournaments from big sponsors, from Microsoft. So make sure to tune in on all your devices. And yeah, it can't be anything but exceptionally great.
Thank you, Nilly. Have a good one.